really tough spot when you can get wall banged through that one. Look at the new zone as DJ Moss goes down. Maybe self-revive. They are dead center. That cyan blue 4 you're seeing on your screen right now, middle of new zone.
Yeah, we preserve it for a second, and then you see that thermite come in, that just the re-knock occurs, and I love that we can hold space with that, and we throw the trophy cistern. Monard pushes into a 1v2 situation, and Z-Smith is just lying in wait. Aiden incredibly low. They grab Monard as well, but little Mario is just kind of finessing around this, looking for the opening. We've got the bunker buster down, and we're just trying to survive. We are dead center of zone, and if we can maintain this, we'll walk away with a ton of elimination towards endgame, but here comes the push. Clown doesn't check the door behind him. Z-Smith tries to put him unscathed, but it's Clown who comes out on top.
Wow, we're going to send Team Aiden all to the gulag or maybe to the lobby. I believe they've got some gulags to work with. Only 6 teams fully eliminated. CT Red on our screen, by the way. A nice rotation from them to get dead center of zone coming from that stadium start. We're going to take a look at these gulags. Aiden full dead. These are big moments. A chance to take down FIFA kill. DJ Moss, Chows, and...
Okay, what? FIFA?
Unreal heading from FIFA on the prone and made DJ miss. This is a must-win scenario, Tiff. Z-Smith has to win here or Team Aiden is sent back to the lobby in 34th on this one. And Z-Smith and Flank have a long story history of fighting each other. Let's see who can get first blood. Z-Smith looking to take the Chow. Flank doesn't connect on anything. Z-Smith trying to find his opponent. Where are they? Smoke and run even in the gulag. You kidding me? Still no connection.
Reload.
The zip is down. Z-Smith takes it.
He gets out.
Z-Smith gets out.
A la verga.
Z-Smith, you are insane. The fact that you make that happen, I can hear the desk literally screaming behind me in my ears. But now we turn our attention straight on over to the Falcons, taking on Team Super Evan. Hisoka, 5 HP, still trying to make that happen. But the replay...
While this replay is happening, look how close this zip was off screen. Z-Smith was able to get out, but on screen here, the Falcons were able to fully eliminate the Wolf and his compadres. The herd is not following him. The Wolf pack is in trouble. Maybe snuck into the gulag here if they haven't been there yet. It looks like Otterize was able to win, so they're not done yet, but a frustrating day 1 is turning into a slightly frustrating day 2, at least thus far. But we're just getting started today as DRN also punishing this regain. A couple buybacks come through and immediately are cut down yet again. Z-Smith and DJ Moss last alive.
Well, this is tough, right? We still have our gulag weapons, so that Superior in hand, and we had maybe a Semtex, so we're still trying to use what we've got. But a buyback for DJ Moss did come through, and DJ does have enough cash to make sure we can get Aiden back into the game, but that's if Z-Smith can finesse his way away from DRN.
And Z-Smith, I think, is trying to wait for DJ to get involved. DJ, I think, is flying up above. The problem is he's got to isolate all these 1v1s where I might just throw his life away if he's not careful. Z-Smith makes the great escape. My goodness, he just dug a tunnel underneath the prison.
What do you mean?
With a spoon. My guy gets out. That is unreal. He's not done yet, but at least has a bit of reprieve and definitely shook DRN.
I did see a wipe there onto FIFA Kills team. Not sure if that's full, but DJ Moss does fall. Looks like Swag's gonna be elsewhere to take him on out. Z-Smith will have to survive and get on that regain yet again.
Revenge tour back on our screen and some early combatants here. Again, they won map 1 yesterday and got a decent map with 14 points. Would like to get a lot more kills though based on the scores they were able to put up for the rest of the day. And this Opal Palace fight should be nice and easy. As we take a look at the zone, again, it looks
madre, hay un chingo de equipos allá en el centro, bastante zona allá en el outdoor. Vamos a ver.
You also see the Falcons up on the far north side of this, above cargo. Gonna have to come over the bridge or through the water to grandmother's house. We also have
equipo número 34.
Pink 20 still in this as well. They've made their way to new. So willing to gatekeep a lot of our top teams still in this.
It's going to be another heavy-hitting end game, right? We have that first match go to
Dongi
able to find habitable space towards that end game, and it's likely going to happen again. But anytime Unrational starts to break out the Morris sniper, it just allows him to put the pressure on so many teams and get that information. But Falcons, after that less than average performance, I would say, from them, considering it was 11.2 points last game, and their average is about 35 points per game. That is how they're allowed to open the door for the rest of the team. Soka, Juju here on the roof and gets it.
That right there is classic Falcons move. Isolate the one, take out the other, omit NA, see you later. Edge of zone hunting, this time with a little bit more kills to work with, means the Falcons could have a good game. When we took a look at that map, you know who we didn't see? Omit EU, they are fully eliminated out of this lobby with just 2 kills. Talk about opening up this leaderboard. There is a lot of room to work. We've got a tournament on our hands, folks. This is a way different day than yesterday, at least the beginning, as Navi is being cut down by King AJ. Welcome back to the party, V8. We'll see what you can do if you take down Navi and then have to fight the Falcons.
Yeah, but the Falcons, they're getting in the mix. Navi's getting sandwiched. Limax, I don't think you're going to survive here, buddy. You're either going to King AJ Vision and Showstopper, or you're going toward the hands of Biffle. Pick your poison. It's not going to be good either way.
Either way, he's able to shake several bullets and finally goes down to Showstopper. Ahsoka doesn't really care about that kill. He wants this V8 team. Says, give me AJ, give me Showstopper. They're all trash, apparently. Shifty finds a nice angle, take down Showstopper from above. Where are the others as they get the cleanup? It's going to be a 3v2. The problem is you don't want to spend too long here. Yes, you have new zone. Yes, you can play for win condition, likely on high ground here. There's nobody else in the area if they take down King AJ. The only team even close is Periwinkle 35, which is going to be Team Colony 2K coming across the bridge. The Falcons get the wipe. They're set up on the northern side of that zone. I'm sure we'll see them in the end game.
Okay, Team Echo, let's see what you got. C9 had that regain. Joe
Lo que puede Bredman,
Bredman looking for the angles,
but error haberte metido ahí.
Early, but you cannot stop the ability of Echo staying together and getting those trades. Already finding a nice amount of eliminations. Cloud9 down and out, outside the top 20.
Again, it just feels like Jason's trying to play
Mataron al equipo de Bredman.
1v2 against hardly any team in this lobby, if anyone, especially not this squad, who's been dominant all day yesterday into today. It does look like Aiden, well, he stayed alive. That's a boon, but 26th place right now. He needs a ton of multipliers, and he's got to wait a very long time. We're looking for top 10 likely to get paid at all from the kills that they maybe have scrapped together. Probably 6, 7.
Y de ahí no se va a mover ese güey.
Just camouflage, right? We don't have any more plates. We do have cash to get another player
se maten entre
towards
ellos.
that end game, a lot of people like to invest those portable buy stations, but you think to the north where the Falcons had cleared out, they were already preparing for a zone pool of that nature. It actually doesn't go their way. So teams still from the north, like Colony 2K on your screen here, they're going to have to deal with that frenzy of just getting deeper into Old Town.
Yeah, this is what could have been a very tough rotation for the Falcons. Ends up actually being a pretty easy one for now. They're able to make it to cover and have plenty of time to work with for this new zone close. 2 teams, though, to your left if you're the Falcons. They're actually picking up kills from distance in this position, and it looks like these 2 teams, or at least one of them, is going to actually push out early right into Benzi's squad. This is good news for the Falcons because they know no one is looking at them. The only player even close is actually Aiden, who's just going to be prone out looking for placement. So the Falcons make their way somehow for free again into zone, into new, and there's only one player in their way who immediately gets cut down. Slide is out of here, and the Falcons somehow have a pretty solid position if they can work their way into those brick buildings.
And Aiden gets ripped by Shifty. Full wipe for Team Aiden there, but we're talking about the timing that the Falcons were able to use to thread the needle of the zone and move almost dead center. The only squad that is neighboring and challenging them for that endgame good positioning is going to be Reply Totem.
That's right, Reply Totem in the area. And again, these buildings aren't sturdy, but they're buildings, so it works for
Pero
now.
al final Aidan que acaban top 24 para ellos. Y cuidado, gente, Biffle con 3 kills, Shifty con 6. Me ha parecido ver. Y como el equipo de Biffle hagan la típica partida que hace siempre el equipo de Biffle, cuidado con esto,
Acaba rápido.
Tenemos con vida el equipo de Donkey jugando en la parte de la cúpula. El equipo de DC está fuera. El equipo de Huskers, que han muerto de los primeros, que ya lo hemos visto. El equipo de Deusamir, que están los 3 con vida jugando borde de zona. Y voy a ver, gente, quiero ver si el equipo de Adrián y el equipo de Echo están con vida. Porque son equipos que se pueden acercar mucho al equipo de Biffle. El equipo de Adrián están los 3 con vida, gente. El equipo de Adrián. Que lo que voy a hacer es quitarme a Huskers, gente, y me voy a poner a Adrián, porque están haciendo de momento una buena final. Sage, que se lleva la doble contra Rockstar y Wartex. Y cuidado, porque la termita puede hacer bastante daño. Matan también aquí al que quedaba, que estaba Wartex con autores. Adrián, que lo remata. Del equipo de Adrián, que consigue el equipo aniquilado contra el equipo de Rockstar. De momento, Adrián sí que es cierto que no lleva ninguna kill. Sage como mínimo llevará 2 o 3. Y luego Swag supongo que también llevará alguna que otra. El equipo equipo de Biffle bien colocado en el centro de la zona. Y me falta ver dónde está el equipo de Echo.
Qué borrador le dio.
El equipo de Echo que están muertos. El equipo de Echo que están muertos. Pues el único equipo que se puede acercar al equipo de Biffle, de momento diría que es el equipo de Adrián y el equipo de Donkey. Así que estaremos muy pendientes de ambos. Sage que lleva 5 kills. Faltaría saber las kills de Swag. Sabemos que Adrián de momento no lleva ninguna. Adrián que está aguantando en la parte de debajo del puente, en la parte del río, podríamos decir, aguantando borde de zona. Van a tener que moverse. Tenemos al equipo de Biffle que también va a tener que rotar, aunque no mucho. Y además creo que el equipo de Biffle, estoy pensando qué posición pueden pillar. Y parece, bueno, que Hisoka ya lo tiene más claro que yo. Hisoka que parece que quieren rotar a la casa de la marca amarilla, que es la casa de delante, pero no lo van a tener fácil. Van a tener que lucharla, van a tener que fightearla. Tenemos a Adrián que sigue aguantando borde de zona. El equipo de Donkey en problemas, ha caído en Rational. Donkey que tiene que cubrirse. Donkey que está a punto de caer. Si cae Donkey se acaba aquí la partida para ellos. Donkey que dice que se rematen para poder revivir a alguno. Donkey que revive en Rational. Y Donkey que consigue lotear una máscara de gas legendaria. Consigue lotear un PDS también, lo que le va a permitir a Donkey aguantar en el borde de la zona. Tira un PDS para que Scamen pueda tirarse el autorres. Muy buena jugada por parte de Donkey, que está aquí tirando del carro de momento en el final de esta segunda partida. El equipo de Adrián, ha caído Adrián, ya ha caído Swag. Se queda únicamente Sage con vida con las 5 kills que hemos dicho que llevaban. El equipo de Biffle, los 3 con vida, aguantando borde de zona también. Y el equipo de Donkey, muy buena jugada, muy inteligente por parte de Donkey, que es justamente el tipo de jugadas que le faltan hacer para convertirse en uno de los mejores jugadores del mundo. Y de momento demostrándolo en el presencial. Matan a Shifty, matan a Biffle. Se va a quedar Hisoka únicamente con vida. Ya hemos dicho que uno de los equipos que podrían poner en problemas al equipo de Biffle puede ser el equipo de Donkey. Se va a quedar con vida únicamente Hisoka, que lo tenemos aquí. Está con $7.000. No sé si tiene tienda para poder revivir. De momento parece que no. Muchos kills para el equipo de Biffle. 16-18 me ha parecido ver. Y Hisoka que sigue la bajada en Rational. El equipo de Donkey eliminado en el top 7 con pocas kills. 8 kills para el equipo de Donkey. Y Hisoka que va a tener que jugar con autorres. Sage que de momento sigue aguantando. Top 5 asegurado para el equipo de Adrián. Top 5 asegurado para el equipo de Biffle. Y vamos a ver qué equipo tenemos al final. Tenemos a Nano que... Let's try to make a heroic play, and so far so good. The problem is Sage is in trouble with low resources. It's DRN zipping up, watch out for him as Sage continues to make heroic plays and somehow has the last piece of cover.
Y sigue aguantando todavía duro como crack. Lucha que la puede ganar el pinche Hisoka esta. For the zip to top of the building. I only expect this team destroy to win it all.
They do. They take out the Falcons, and now still DRN from the high ground, but Sage still putting on the work. Still get taken out. Regardless, a valiant effort. 1.8x multi.
Hisoka también cayó, ¿no?
2K in the end game as well with DRN as the great hunt begins. They just have to find the last one.
¿2 contra 2?
Unbelievable consistency from Top Colony 2K. He technically got a 1v2 last time. Could he get a 1v3? I think we just have to wait and find out. But I've got to tout the IGL call from Team Destroy to zip to the top of this building. Secure top 2. It's a 3v1. Nearly insurmountable at this point, but let's just watch and wait. All 2K can do. See you later. Team Destroy on top. He wants the money. He's going to ask you to give it to him. And after finally a great game in game 2 of day 2, he told me, he said, Coach, it's going to be a brand new day tomorrow. And apparently that's right. Well done, Team Destroy. DRN on top in map number 2.
Stand up, celebrate. That 2x multi plus whatever eliminations you had is going to be a massive game for you. Mind you, they averaged 9.47 points per game yesterday, and we are already off to a better start. That new day you mentioned, man, that's got to feel good.
One thing I love about Destroy is that every time I see him, he goes, Gotch? That's what he calls me. He goes, Gotch? I'm feeling good. I'm ready to shoot. And I'm like, hey, man, I love your energy every single time he celebrates. always just putting on a show for us and people at home. He says, give me my money. There's a chance to earn a lot of money today. With a map like that, certainly putting himself in a better position.
He's always had such magnificent energy around him, and anytime we get to watch them on the tournaments leading up to World Series of Warzone, you're right, it's that show me the money. There's a very insane clip of him. I know the Pulse Check boys got it. It went everywhere, and I was just like, what are we gonna get? Like, is he gonna jump on the table over there? I don't even know.
If they win again, you might see Destroy run laps around this place.
Probably.
All right. I love this team for a lot of reasons, and one of the main ones is they had some adversity leading up to today, right? Leading up into today, yesterday had a struggle, but also all of the tournaments leading up to this week, aside from some early events, they've had some struggles. They haven't been able to piece it together. They haven't gotten the kills they needed. Finally, they put together a win. Big question is, how many kills did they end up with? They got here early, they secured a win, but was it enough to really leapfrog that leaderboard? Let's take a look at that last stand and see how it all happened. Yet again, I'm gonna tip my hat, as per the usual with our last stand. FaZe, a fantastic job to stay alive. I'm not sure how many kills Sage was actually given in those final moments of the LTV, even still making top 5 a heroic feat.
Yeah, especially when you start getting pieced apart with about 15 squads remaining. You see Swag kind of dive on down, see that portable buy station, get Sage back into the mix, and this is where you see DRN on that bottom right-hand side of your screen. Even Omit and a Brax just doing the army crawl, trying to get out of there. But then Sage, you know, grabs the LTV last standing, starts absolutely crushing people looking for points. Soka, after working on that COD Community team out in the gas, was the solo player, and at that point, every elimination they got was worth 1.8, especially for FaZe.
It's such a key factor in
la verga, pinche Sage.
I don't know if Sage was given any of these because he's playing
Atropelló dos huevones.
who were knocked, but even still, a massive effort with the LTV, and it was a perfect call from you, Tip. The Falcon squad are kind of the unsung heroes here because they had a sizable amount of eliminations, and Ahsoka was able to wipe COD Community to get top 5. But of course, the final moment with the heroes of this map, DRN able to grab the victory, taking down yet again a very consistent squad with Team Colony 2K first, and then second on day 2. Come on. Come on.
That's consistent. That's exactly want to see. So hear me out, though. I hear we got someone on stage, and I want to hear from Miles and Destroy.
Thanks very much, Tiff. Right, Destroy. Congratulations, man. A big win right up there in the standings after that. Crazy finish. Who made the call to take that top building?
My boy Nate Dogg, man. He just said, yo, we threw a zip. We had 2 PDSs. Best IGL in the game, Nate Dogg. Threw the zip down. We got hype for free. Free ass W. That's what I'm talking about.
Sorely needed, man. Well done. Again, how's it been so far in the tournament for you? I mean, what's the environment been like? I mean, I know there's some fans out here. There's some loud Destroy fans.
Let's go, baby.
They're real loud. How you doing?
Yeah, man, I got my whole family out here. Thank you guys for supporting us. I appreciate you guys. Yesterday, we weren't able to get a W, but I promised today that we were getting 2+ Ws. That's one right there. Not the most kills, but nonetheless, we got the zone pool. Nate made the great call. Me and Raul are on all cylinders shooting, and it's just kind of flow for the squad right now.
Dude, love that for you, man. Congratulations once again. We'll let you back up there and stay warm. Just back to the desk.
All right, Miles, thank you, man. Destroy, always a ball of energy, bringing the hype, and a massive win coming out for them. I love our stage, by the way. Shout out to everybody in the production crew for that. And shout out to Jay. Just heat up from here. Let's see how well the teams are going to play moving forward. And, well, speaking of which, let's start moving forward. We've got game number 3 ready to go, so let's send it and continue to tell the story of the 2024 World Series of Warzone Global Final. Spider Tip goes, take it away.
Thank you so much, Taylor Reflections Noble. I gotta say, Tiff, it feels crazy to say that Falcons, yes, they're on top by not that big of a margin, but also Team Colony 2K is in 2nd place overall. That, by the way, if they finish, is like $52,000 a piece if they can keep up this pace.
I mean, that's a good weekend if I'm Nickel, if I'm being honest. Because, like, I mean, 50K from the solo YOLO yesterday. We're still getting crazy here because, man, that's after 2 games. We're flying through this already. I thought yesterday that I would see a max of 6 games, and we are starting to be around that halfway point. If we're north of 80 points, that means for 2 games, we're at 41.8 points for the Falcons, especially after you drop an 11-point game in match number 1. All we have up is here.
Yeah, and no, what's interesting, too, is if you look at their averages from yesterday, if they drop 2 average games from yesterday, that would be 35 points apiece. That's insane. That's their average. But if they drop both of those, that's 70 points. Guess what? That's a total of 151. They would be past our threshold, so we could get to our first match point. in 2. That's kind of our metric right now. They also dropped a 60-point game yesterday, so you never know what could happen, but I'm very impressed with the rest of our squads as well. Very tight margins, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, all within, what, 4 points total? A lot of room to leapfrog up this leaderboard, and I'm excited to see what happens in map number 3, folks. This new zone, new map, we're moving quick, and Tiff, I'm just excited to say that I believe map number 3, it's here, folks. You don't have to wait any longer. Crowd in Vegas, I know we're excited about this one. It's time for map number 3 of the World Series of Warzone, day 2.
Well, we are potentially heading on to the north as you see that plane line just above Kotovo blocks. We already see Omit EU electing to drop Kotovo instead of dragging it all the way out towards Manor. For some of our squads that are looking to get into that early action, you can see squad number 34 also. If you haven't gotten into a territory where you feel comfortable at chasing that 150 threshold, the time is now. You cannot let the Falcons start to points gap the lobby in Cloud9. I do love a contest. Omit T, the fluffy aimers on the other side yet again.
And again, this is what they've been doing every single map today. This is different from yesterday, and so a different team to contest, and it's kind of gone both ways for Cloud9. But Tiff, you made a fantastic point. When this circle is tending towards the northwest, you see Omit EU say, I'm not going Manor, instead I'm going Kotovo, which is quite literally as far northwest as you can go. So we're going to continue to watch and see if maybe Jace can clean up his kills. And right now it's looking like that's going to be the case. So a 2v3, Cloud9 in a bit of an advantageous position. Something else worth noting, by the way, from that quick map view, the plane line was actually bisecting the map west to east, but was west to east on the northern side of the map, which means anybody trying to stretch south had a long way to go. Something worth noting for a lot of those teams that prefer city.
Okay, look, but this isn't a bad weapon to have, especially when we were seeing the initial pistol fight off the rip, but T does have a better weapon. They look to be disengaging, waiting to see, can they get out? Can we get Funzy back out of the gulag? For Cloud9, though, they're going to need as many eliminations as possible, but now that we've parted both ways, we can focus on the task at hand.
And taking a look at our map and overhead views, you're seeing it looks like Community again getting into the mix. I will say Team Community did not go all the way to high rise. They could not stretch that far and instead elected to land near Stadium, which is right where CT Red is. So we'll keep our eyes out for that as we also head over here to condos and see the other teams in the area kind of near where Cloud9 is. This is that same contested fire station from before from some of the teams lower on the leaderboard.
All right, reload, smokes are out. We're hip firing through it. Can we connect? Honestly, sometimes you just got to clear it on out if you can. You got the heartbeat sensor in the back pocket, but when the high ground is being shelled, through the window we go, and SV is going to be able to drop them. Get the full and look. I'm loving the early action that we're still seeing from our squad. They understand the frenzy that is the Falcons at the top of the leaderboard that pushes the pace of the entire lobby.
And it looks like a couple trades here. So unfortunately, I think this squad is in trouble as they have been for most of the tournament. And it looks like that Super Evan squad is lurking in the area as per the usual to clean up the rest of these pieces, sweep them into a trash can, and then move on their way. And they need it as well, frankly. Not a great tournament thus far, but Super Evan makes quick work of SV and is going to be looking for the Italians. Now, I want to look over the top of Community. What we missed, what you did not see, is actually CT Red get mostly fully eliminated, and then Community gets split up by another push, and I believe that's actually from our Falcons MENA squad that was in the area as well as Team Valor, which is Strixie, Tabulator, and Johnny Bro. So a lot of teams on that kind of northern side of City got into the mix, shuffled things around, and Community is a little bit in a blender.
Well, we go over to that FIFA kill squad, and well, they had a ton of eliminations after match number 1. They were the frag leaders, 13 in game number 1, but have cleaned to tapered off in match 2. Hopefully can then find that form here today, but Lennon in the gulag, and it seems to have won it out against Bubble CT to join back with FIFA and Jukies.
Yeah, and this squad, again, has been on their back foot pretty much since they came together as a team. But even still, had an okay day yesterday. Ended up making it, I believe, into the top 20, just barely, and decent amount of points going their way. So if they can turn things around right now, it's kind of now or never at this point. Still plenty of game to be played as Clapper gets cleaned up yet again by FaZe Black. Military base looking like it's going to be FaZe Black's all to themselves. They've got edge of zone. They can hold a couple of these teams on the outskirts. But right now, I'm looking down towards Superstore where they will be rotating to, and Team Aiden yet again has already rotated down to Lowtown as well, trying to get a piece of this action. So we take a look at the new zone that's about to pop. This is going to get really interesting. Do we go all the way to Kotobo? Do we go to the northwestern side of this map, or do we favor kind of the central zones that we've seen from day one?
Well, if we go north, it's Revenge Tour and Omit EU that are battling for that complete decimation of that northwestern side. I saw mortars being invested, and they're kind of on top of each other up there. But so far, Revenge Tour making it their own.
La media está muy separado,
still
¿no?
on the move, and you got to keep an eye on, because honestly, I feel like there's one of these do not
El
enter
equipo
zones
número
in a
18, la
quarantine
media.
area around pop-off power. People will rotate around it, whether that's
right.
going through industrial, they're carve on over through cargo and go up to the north through outpost, because they do not want to chow the Falcons right now.
Yeah, no, it's a great shot. And with this zone, we are not going to go to the northwestern side of the map. This is kind of the most telling zone that we'll see. It's actually likely going to be cargo, maybe that outpost area up on the Lonely Hill, which is just north of where that Super Evan team currently is, with FIFA Kill trying to regain in the area. I likely think we will go that way. There's a chance we head further west towards Seaport, but I'm excited to see what happens and which teams are in the best spot. Right now, the Falcons have nowhere to run to. There's nowhere that they need to go, because Popov is almost entirely in this zone, and likely they're going to be walking out with Popov as per the usual with like 40 to 50K.
Well, as per the usual, you got the Exiles on top. Ultimate high ground here at Levin Resort. When you've got the Reaper team down on the bottom, you can see that they're all separated out. Sent one to the Gulag early, and they're just trying to look for a way to disengage from that building away from Team Huskers. But Colony 2K, a consistent start here just on the inside of Zaravan City, deciding how they want to approach, where do we want to see that next circle pop, and how do we acquire the information. The portable radars, though, such a boon to checked areas on the rotate.
Yeah, it's a good shot. We've jumped all the way to the bottom of this zone. This is the bottom of the circle down in City. You're going to see several teams on the left-hand side of this mini map. You're going to see Community trying to regain against that Falcons Mina squad on the left-hand side. So you're going to see two of our top teams right now, second place, looking at that Community team in about fourth, maybe running into each other, pending which team wins the early fight. That's the south side. Here is the eastern side. This is the Superstore side. Like we expected, FaZe Black has rotated through Superstore, moving into Old Town, Lowtown, trying to find where that Aiden team's decided to rotate to, who are apparently already in a fight as well in the Lowtown, Old Town area. And FaZe Black's going to come in and possibly third party it as we see FaZe into the Gulag.
Yeah, this is tough, but Melvin does not be able to get the jump onto Adrian. A clean read for them. Looks to be a full reset as Sage already has boots on the ground here on the outskirts of Opal Palace, dead center of that area, and all of the teams that are surrounding them on that rotation. And when you've got a large majority of that water still in the dead center of the map, you have to choose. Do we go from the Seatown side? Do we get on over to cargo? And when do we time that rotation or that call?
Here's that look at Team Aiden we were talking about, by the way. Already down near Opal and Old Town, Lowtown, kind of the transition between the two, trying to make a big rotation over to Old Town. I think Aiden's squad knows that's likely going to be favoring slightly to the west, not necessarily in this POI. They're going to elect to early rotate as Smith actually wins his Gulag off screen against Tabulator, which means they're going to have all three alive. Good news for this squad, especially because you're going to have Z-Smith in the sky and Eyes in the sky to give you some info, especially about this Vortex Robstar team. They could have played smooth here without some Z-Smith info, and because of that, they can play a bit slower. Off screen, by the way, Omit NA just took down Omit EU on the very north side of that Omit EU in the Gulag trying to regain. Omit NA have won that fight and needed it back.
I mean, that's one way to have an Omit takeover, if I'm going to say that. But for Team Aiden, you have got to hit that rotation as you see that pull come through. A mass exodus will occur from the Old Town, Seatown area. You're going to have to get towards cargo. A lot of squads have already...
Ahí tengo de fondo a la mía para ver qué es lo que anda haciendo, cabrón. Pero se supone que está en el equipo número 18.
The only team that is nearby is actually the Falcons and Popov. Pending which way the Falcons rotate, that could be a fun fight to watch. But I think that Omit NA's team is thinking, we want high ground, we want
Pachuca mata a
so they're
Luis.
going to take over outposts and punish any teams that get there. The other team
Destroyed.
north, by the way, that we were
Vortex.
looking at is actually that Exile squad.
Robstar mata Destroy.
Trying to make their way out into new. As we see FaZe apparently back on our screen. His team Aiden trying to take down some of the main competition they have.
Oh, we're full
Con todo por el güey, ¿no?
Not on the same team this World Series of Warzone. Z-Smith on your screen, filtering up through the stairs. You can already see the regain that they've been trying to occur throwing that loadout, which means they don't have the weapons they're comfortable with, and DJ Moss needs to take advantage of all of this. Sage across the way. We already saw him take that zip to reposition
Top 37 para el equipo de Enkeo, que estaban en el top 7 con 44 puntos. El equipo francés al pozo, con muy poquitos puntos, el equipo francés de Enkeo. Que lo dicho, todo lo bien que jugaron ayer, hoy están sufriendo y mucho. Veremos cómo acaban después de esta partida. No sé por qué Enkeo se ha centrado en pillar dinero de primeras, porque básicamente su compañero estaba muerto y gente estaba con él en el gulag. Vale la pena centrarte en pillar dinero si tienes a un compañero tuyo con vida que sabes que en caso de perder el gulag te puede revivir. Ahí sí que puedo entender que te centres un poquito más en pillar dinero, porque te revive y sales con mucho dinero. Pero su compañero estaba muerto y su otro compañero estaba con él en el gulag. Así que digamos que Enkeo ha perdido como el pick inicial. En lugar de piquear, queriendo meter un poco de dinero, luego tenía como dinero bugueado, que no ha podido pillarlo tan bien. Y no ha podido asomar de primeras. Y luego cuando ha querido pushear, Luis le estaba esperando, estaba bien colocado Luis en el head glitch y le ha acabado matando relativamente sencillo. Tenemos al equipo.
Forgot a mortar.
But to the action we go because Team Aiden's in trouble, or maybe they're the ones causing the trouble. One goes down, nice trade. This team is moving with a V12 engine right now.
This car right here.
Everything
Car.
working flawlessly.
I jumped out.
To the bank.
Oh, they know that they have to play at a very quick pace.
Beside me again. It's steal them. They're running me down.
And eliminate them in their own format that they're so good at
I can't
playing on. Even Super Evan's team, we called it out earlier, they were already on the cargo side of things. They're starting to separate out, but it's the Falcons that are going to be hailing from half-off power. They've moved just on the outskirts of Outpost. You'll have to keep an eye on them because Soka just went down on the ground. Into the gulag we go.
Yeah, this is such a great call, by the way, from Omit NA. They know they need a third party this, whether this is Vegas Inferno that they're going to punish or the Falcons. We'll see. We're going to do a quick listen of the Falcons with Ahsoka down.
Ya revivieron al Hisoka, ¿no? Usa el gulag. Ah, está el gulag.
Money. Here. Portable by behind us. I'm gonna wait for the scam, bro. I don't know if these have a portable by behind us. I'm gonna wait for the scam, bro. Did none of you guys hop out? No, because the backs in them were shooting us all the time. I go back there for that buy. Did none of you guys scam, bro? No, because the backs in them were shooting us all the time. I go back there for that buy. I don't know if they know I'm here. Think so? Just wait for the scam, bro. I need a refresh. Ours coming anyway. Am I playing for you? Yo, look, I'm trying to get my loot back. They took it. Hold on, hunt them, bro. I don't know if they know I'm here. I can bucket that. You try playing for them? Oh, why they took it? Across.
Yeah, that one was brutal.
What's in front? Scamming. 20.
What they were thinking, I think they were thinking, we don't have a third man. I mean, Ahsoka got punished in the gulag, and now she's fighting. I'm trying not to make a mistake. And Omit NA is here to pay. And oh no, Shifty goes into the building to try to make a play, and he knows his teammates are low. Omit NA playing spoiler right now, potentially to the Falcons, but we lose Brax. So this is a 2v2, and with their third coming back, a quick buyback on Ahsoka means the Falcons somehow have found a way to find an advantage over Omit NA. How will this one pay off?
This is going to be crazy. I mean, the Falcons still have so much cash for resources, and they always have buy stations in their back pocket. But Omit NA, after taking out Omit
Siempre van contra esos güeyes, ¿no?
Youngstas on 5 eliminations. Remember how much of a game day they had yesterday? Well, it was nothing that we are used to seeing from Omit NA. Brax loses the gulag to the APAC team, and that's so unfortunate for them, because if I'm fighting the Falcons in a 2v3, I'm going to want to go in with my full strength.
Yeah, and frankly, this is one of those probably the only moment ever that the Falcons, if they knew, would say, thank you, XMQ. I think that's a huge boon. Like you said, player advantage now on the side of the Falcons. I don't think they know that. There's a chance they've got some UAVs in the sky, and maybe they're picking up on some reads, but right now, they're looking with this smoke and run. They know someone's out here. And it looks like they've actually grabbed maybe an LTV and are getting out of dodge. So Emit NA playing their life well. We're going to swing back to a team that's doing that all map this map and are slowly creeping up the leaderboard. Team Aiden trying to return to form into the top 5 as they've secured a nice spot in cargo right now if this zone pulls south.
Well, I love this rotation, right? Especially when you're getting ahead of it, because we knew crossing the water was going to be incredibly difficult, and you've got other squads still trying to get in from that south side. That's Reply Totem here, looking for a bridge to cross. But with Team Aiden, Z-Smith already on 6, we got LTVs to play around. You have to see where is this pull going to occur, and are they going to be able to take down the Team Falcons Mena with haste?
Y están esperteando al equipo de Aidan, el equipo de Enkeo fuera. Gente, los equipos que están por debajo de Biffel están teniendo partidas malas, ¿eh? El equipo de Donkey que sigue sufriendo con Scammel muerto, no han podido hacerle nada, no han podido revivirle. Y ahora el equipo de Donkey que ya va a tener que intentar algo. 3 kills para Donkey. Que van a tener que rotar, no tienen tiendas. Tienen un globo portátil que podría intentar pillar alguna altura con el globo portátil. Sí, van a tener que pillar el globo portátil, pero se lo pueden romper porque hay un equipo apuntándoles y les están mirando. Tenemos a Unreasonable que les ha tirado un humo en la cara de los enemigos para intentar bloquearles toda la visión posible. Y Donkey que consigue rotar sin que le toque ni una sola bala. Les han tirado un mortero, pero parece que Donkey se lo va a poder esquivar. Y además Donkey que va con loot del suelo. La Superi y la BP-50 para Donkey, cuidado con Unreasonable.
Full wipe Dongy on your screen as well as Unrational. And when you've got Cloud9 lurking below you, things can be detrimental towards your regain. We do have a bunker buster in the back pocket. We just gotta set our sights straight on the jungle. Can we rip him out of it? Because if you think about it, it's always gonna be Jogo and Bremen right next to each other with Orange lurking from a cross angle.
Unsurprisingly, by the way,
y mucha gente se hace para atrás.
That is definitely a blue. 35 with that Watch Waldo team, Colony 2K. They're still alive. They're fighting right now. We're losing Nick Cool, but this team went first, second, and they're trying to better it again in this next one. As they're losing one off screen or a little bit further down the line. You do see Omit NA has regained fully and are moved into the new zone as well. You see Exiles were able to make their way out of Resort and have crept down to New. But right now, Donkey and Unrational are just lying in wait and looking for somebody to make a mistake and maybe somebody's head to get popped.
Well, 4 and Jace picks up XMQ, and that's a full squad wipe, so we don't have to worry about them looking for a regain over here. But Exiles, man, they are just hunting, waiting to use that Car 98 and find a down. Biffle down below, you can see them just on that screen, but Omet NA, and of course, Team Aiden in the distance. We got Pentagon, Melvin, Fuzzin as well with 26 teams here. You have to make sure these circles can be fickle, right? Depending on those end game pools, whether you have to cross that road, that will cost you so many placement points. But for Team Aiden, who took the early rotation with Team Falcons Mena kind of mirroring them, right? They're constantly staying just a step ahead, and it's only a matter of time before they start to pick them apart.
Crazy, and it's a great call. The early rotation is going to pay in kind, but again, the zone pulls further north, and now we're of course still in Seaport, but right where it looks like that Watch Waldo team was, and then Team 30, which is the Team Clapper team that I think had 7 kills throughout the entirety of yesterday combined in all 6 games, have a chance to have a good one if they can hold that position in the middle of zone as they're getting pushed. Everybody wants their spot. It's going to be difficult to do so. That darker blue 30, that's the best spot right now, especially on this south side. There's a lot of teams that are going to be gunning for it.
Oh, and we're starting to move. The Falcons have already found themselves a home, but it's not a good one. Ahsoka gets ripped from the ultimate high ground. Laundered, little Mario gonna do the work on them. Biffle only on 3 eliminations, and you're gonna have to fight off everyone hailing from the north on that. It's gonna be Aizen, Hollow, the next biggest threat to them.
Huskers team, the Exile squad, has made their rotation in and actually have a nice position on the northern side. So a couple gatekeepers right now as everybody's trying to get a piece of the pie, a piece of some cover, and a place somewhere. We need some multipliers. Still 23 teams up as we're moving into the 7th. This is unreal, nearly unprecedented on this side of the map. This reminds me of City. Everybody playing slow. There's $1 million on the line, and off screen, it does look like our Watch Waldo, Colony 2K, Nick Cool squad finally eliminated their worst game of the day in 22nd. Likely still going to be top 5 with a decent game, but that is a frustrating one after a fantastic momentum. Look at this layer cake action all across these condos.
No, this is going to be brutal. We are pulling to the open ground outside of the condos, and sometimes you just got to find We are in shambles. Did you see how many buybacks? But turn to the north. We got exiles on your screen here. All three up. Moore's in the back pocket in a precision airstrike to just absolutely wreak havoc on the lobby.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. And there's FAK sniping for the win.
My bad, Husk. I knew I was familiar with the game. Apparently not. Good grief through the body, but we go to Aiden squad. PDS is for days. It's Omit in A versus Team Aiden. And it's a brutal one. Blood treating hands, but no one will falter. Not yet. Sharing the wall like a townhome. This time it's in condos. Juju, little fastball special. You gonna get pinned in kind? Aiden gonna get the rip. No, doesn't get the clear up. This squad's still in trouble, but Omit in A is out of here. We are deep in the gas, but we got a buy station for some gas masks.
Hey, that's how you make a replay of that. In a PDS in the back pocket. Elsewhere, the Team Falcons men have fallen. Team Community still struggling, but we still have to get into that next circle. Knowing that it pulls out into the open, we want to take our time, smoke and run here, and look what we see just ahead of us. Cloud9 being wiped by Days Demir squad.
Good grief. CT Red getting into the mix and cutting down one of the top teams today. CT Red still in the mix, finding more team wipes, finally losing Days Demir. But the question is, you might be asking, wait, we're not in the ninth zone yet. Where is the zone? It's all the way on the other side. Who's there?
¿Propio qué? De Usamir, que su killcam ha sido su propia killcam, que ha explotado algo y ha matado a Usamir. Aidan que ha caído contra algo. Top 4 para el equipo de Aidan. Y nos iremos al mundo espectador. Tenemos al equipo de Huskers con vida, al equipo de MTTJ con vida. Y el equipo de Huskers que ha sido quitarlo y van a ganar una partida. Porque tenemos al equipo de Huskers, al equipo de Future, y es un 2 contra 2 del equipo de Huskers contra el equipo de Rocket. Y Huskers 1 contra 2. Huskers 1 contra 2. Huskers que va a la tienda. Huskers que va a revivir. Huskers que consigue revivir a sus dos.
¡Qué buena! ¡Qué buena! Para final se levantó el Husker ahí.
He told me it would be a different day. A solid performance yesterday, but a
que le han caído al que quedaba del equipo de Rocket y el equipo de Huskers que consigue ganar la partida que la necesitaban como el comer, porque el equipo de Huskers, gente, top 31 que iba el equipo de Huskers, necesitaba la victoria. Y qué jugadita del propio Huskers, 1 contra 2, del 1 contra 2 lo convierte a un 3 contra 2 a favor, noqueando a uno de ellos, convirtiéndolo en un 3 contra 1. Pero ha caído Jackal y Bradley, que han caído ahí como auténticas miuras para acabar matando al que quedaba del equipo de Rocket. Y tenemos aquí 6 kills para el propio Huskers, que nos pasaría a ver.
I think it was at least double digits. That's a 20-plus point game. They needed that to get back into the mix. Of course, every position you're leapfrogging, I don't need to remind you at home, there is $1 million on the line. So if you jump from 20th up into the top 5, this is quite literally thousands upon thousands of
creo
dollars.
que no con demasiadas kills, así que podemos tener torneo, podemos tener una clasificación ajustada. Veremos qué ha hecho el equipo de Colony, el equipo de Sage, el equipo de Dongi, el equipo de Prodigy y esos equipos que estaban cerca del equipo de Biffle, porque la clasificación se nos puede quedar bastante interesante. Vamos a ver repetido
fighting like hell to get out of here.
Again, this is a fantastic game from Team Aiden, but I want to draw our attention to that Exile squad. They have the perfect zone pull. They've been gifted it, but then they're able to reap it. Look at where New is. You can see where Team 7 in yellow are already in position, lying in wait. Vegas Inferno almost played spoiler, especially with Brolic running out of ammo, but Future also running out of ammo, had to relocate, replate, and wasn't able to get the better of his opponent. Brolic gets cut down here from Zakar, and again, what a monumental effort from Team Rocket.
Vale, aquí tenemos el final de partida desde la cámara de Huskers, que como hemos dicho ya,
Huskers getting the buyback here, Tip. Huskers is able to get one. It's exactly what he needed for his teammates to come in, shoot him in the back, say see you later. Jackal Brolic, very well done. A holistic team effort, but on the back of a high IQ play from Huskers. That was sick.
It was sick. All he had to do was put down so much damage to allow Brolic and Co to come back on in and finish the deal for them. I believe it was a 10 elimination win, so 20 points for the Exiles. And honestly, if you already show that you can convert those wins, because mind you, at the beginning of the map, they always lurk around that Levin resort, so a nice rotation is quite easy for them. But I hear we've got the man himself, Huskers, down with Miles. Let's hear from y'all.
Thanks, Tiff. Huskers, how are you doing? Because I was nervous after that one, man.
Feeling better after that win for sure. We had a rough first couple games, but hopefully this will be a huge momentum shift and we can keep carrying that forward.
What was it like in the final moments there? Who made the play call? I mean, did you know it was all going to work out once the bye was in play?
I think just both me and Jack were making great comms there, great calls at the very end to, you know, go back to that little building because we saw we had the shift. And yeah, the last minute, I was so locked in, I didn't realize that there was like a portable buy there. But Jackal made that comm to get the double buy back, so I was able to buy enough time to get them both back.
It was awesome, man. There was such a great reaction in the crowd when we saw those shoots coming in. It was like, oh my God, it felt like something out of a movie. Yeah. Well, congrats, man. Obviously, a big win helps out a lot. The regain is potentially there. You've still got a few more games to play. What changes from here?
Just keeping that aggression up and just getting aggro on teams, not being afraid to, you know, fight a team and playing confident is really the key.
Love it, man. Well, good luck. Keep up the confidence. We'll see you on the other side. Desk, back to you.
Huge wins coming out for Huskers and his crew of Exile. Hey, we talked 150 points is that threshold. Who will be the first team to win it, and who will be the first team eligible for their match point game? Well, of course, they have to answer that question, and I do have some others who are ready to at least tell the story even more for game number 4. Let's get it started. We're heading into game 4. Going to our casters, Spider, Tiff, and Goj.
Thank you, Taylor Reflections Noble. As per the usual, Desk, great breakdown, but it's time to get into the nitty-gritty because we've had 3 games thus far, and the Falcons are still roughly 60 points away from our 150-point threshold. They have to win a game after that. I gotta say, this is going a little bit different than I thought it would be, but they are still on top, and it's wild to say that this is a little bit of a weird tournament when they're still up by 16 points on their competition.
Nah, they just haven't hit their flow state yet. You gotta think yesterday, they were averaging about 35 points per game. So if you need 58.4 points to eclipse 150, that's potentially 2 good games for them. Or who knows, maybe they have a banger and drop 60 on this one. That would be a 30 elimination win, which would be, I mean, way insane. I mean, it is possible. We've seen it done before, but not really from the likes of them. We've seen things like that out of the squads like Team COD Unity. And what they need to eclipse 150, well, that's 76.8 points. Aiden, they need 75.6 more. We're still just about halfway there for some of these rosters.
That's right, and again, a big shout here to FaZe, right? They're in 6th place overall right now. Still a lot of points needed to be tallied up. There's a lot of money on the line, even if you're not in the conversation for that 150 points, not yet. But all it takes is one really good game, then you're in the conversation. You butt in and are able to take home a ton of cash. We're about to drop into this one, and I think the big notes right now are CT Red has made it into the top 10. They're in 7th overall, but that FaZe team, Sage is the top fragger right now, tied with Robstar with 14 eliminations apiece, with several players in the 13th.
Well, a team that's flying under the radar right now is Omit NA, 31 eliminations, 2nd to Falcons, and they said they wanted to come into day 2 a little bit better, but let's see how they do. Let's get into match number 4, Vegas.
Well, the potential second half is upon us, or maybe we're just entering into the second third. We don't know how long we're going today, but it's going to be a good time. And well, we've got a brand new plane line from southeast to northwest. Means you have your pick of the litter with where you want to drop and how you want to get there. But right now, all eyes Omit EU have fallen down the leaderboard. I know Enigma was saying we don't need to sound the alarm bell, not yet. but not into the top 10 as a top 5 team dominating yesterday, not making it into the in circles. We'll see if they can perform on land in back-to-back days, but they need a big one here to get back into the conversation.
Looks like the Fluffy Aimers had a bit of a different contest go wrong, but Freddy on the other side here at the fire station, getting knocks, getting fools, and multiple squads over here. But this is that, we talked about it, the frenzy that occurs, that we are not backing down from this. We will fight until the dawn of the time over fire. And I'm like, hey, let's just go away from this. Nano gets cracked there. Freddy, though, if you want to go ahead and get that moving quicker, close the gap, get in there.
Yeah, a couple quick eliminations here in this contested fire station, as per the usual. Of course, you're going to see Cloud9 off into the outer edge of this same fight. They're going to be over in Seaport as well, the south side, but omit in A to the north side of this fight. And it does look like, by the way, the quick look at our map view, it does look like that Exiles team is actually to the south side of Levin Resort this time around. So omit in A and Exile are close to each other. Yes, they have a free spot right now to get their loadout and show us that, hey, everything's going well over here in Rostava, but the Exiles are probably going to be the closest team to them right now, and we'll see where they rotate to, because this Omit NA squad is notorious for rotating out and around Seaport to get closer to center of zone, pending the news. So I'm really curious to see where second zone will be, because this will dictate everybody else's rotations, likely up towards Omit NA, who probably won't have to move in this one.
Well, what about the Battle of Bazaar? We saw a ton of action here yesterday, specifically from Reply Totem and CT Black. Vortex drops on down, Robstar looking for angles, and Volcom just kind of prone there, dead center, just waiting with the angle. Vortex, though, knows exactly where they are. Robstar maybe can hit a flank, the wallbang comes through, he gets the angle, grabs one, makes it a 3v2, and goodbye. Panda, enjoy the gulag.
Well, and this is part of the reason that Robstar is tied for top fragger today. They've won this fight almost every single time. Actually, I think every single time. Yeah, we're shooting bodies, probably because they've been fighting for that position for the last, like, 3 months, and Robstar's team definitely getting the better of that side of the fight. But as we swing back, Omit NA, as expected, swung over to Levin to go find the Exiles team, pick up one, and then move on their merry way. And look who's coming up the third party. Howdy, Omit EU, welcome to the party. Ooh. I know Enigma is not happy about EMEA, fighting EMEA, but I'm having a great time watching Omit EU get back into form and find some early elimination.
Oh, Blade tries a chow, gets it for Gromalok, but he's there to pick up the trade. Hopefully, we can pick him back up and prevent any gulag utilization here now. But Team Aiden has found FaZe Black. Flanked goes down, and DJ Moss just making sure we're calling information. They've got loadout on the roof, so keep an eye out for Blast there. Good thing here, Zeppa from afar actually is going to help out Team Aiden here.
This is a very interesting play, actually, from this Aiden squad. This is probably the first time we've actually seen them rotate up towards military from Super. Usually they're heading into Low Town, Old Town, to fight teams like DRN, some of those other squads that dropped there. That FaZe team that's in there, also Old Town, Low Town. But instead, they head up to military, wipe FaZe Black, and then decide where they want to go from here. So back to Omit EU, because again in a bit of trouble. They've rotated up from Shaheen up to Bazaar, like we said, and the third party this time against them, nobody else here, so a true 3v3 means FLS, Gooey, and Clavson. They looked at this fight and then said, never mind, I don't like it at all, we're gonna go somewhere else.
Yeah, Team North is currently going north, away from the Omit EU roster, especially once this squad starts warming up and trying to keep on the move. From the distance we go, and well, Bazaar all alone. In comes all the free loadouts to help anyone who may be on the regrind. Team Community here scumming on that ultimate high ground and dives on down here to Zaravan City. Panda, that regain we saw from earlier on the ground, it's not doing too well for him, because Unrational's looking for more.
Yeah, again, where do people go when they want to regain? It's either farms or city. Apparently city is not working out for them. Technically shopping center here on the south side of city. It looks like our Community squad looking very good in the early part of this game. However, the zone does pull back to the zones that we're used to from day one. We are headed back to the eastern side of the map, back towards likely somewhere between Superstore, Lowtown, and Farms, looking like mostly that Superstore area potentially for the end game, and Omit NA knows it, so they're going to clean out everyone from behind them, including this FIFA kill squad, as Juki's either is out on a leash or maybe he's the last one alive. It looks like he's maybe got a teammate in Popov. But Omit NA says, well, we don't want to get third parties as the Exiles come flying in on LTV to try to get a piece of that action.
I mean, look, Omit NA already took down the Exiles once, and they're going to want to do so again. But back on over towards that Superstore side of things, I think staying here for the time being, considering that circle keeps creeping towards that northeastern side, a lot of open distance as we go ahead and pull it on up. You can still see FLS over there in farms after retreating away from Omit EU, that red one on the bottom right of your screen. Very isolated down there, but for teams like Omit NA, the direct opposite of them in that north, you still have FIFA, you have the Falcons, and the push is here.
Yeah, the Falcons are swinging on their opponents on the northern side because the Falcons also don't want to get flanked. We have to check back into a team that's been shocking the world with their performances in the last couple days. This Colony 2K squad didn't have a great last map, but still a strong team in the top 5 right now. And FaZe Black has regained back into military on the northern side. And it looks like this Colony 2K team is going to punish them for it. Especially with Colony getting the gunny like that. He's able to get both weak. Where his teammates help. It looks like Nickpool's got an angle, but not a good enough one. Gets caught out by Gabe. Uh-oh, the tides have turned. Now we've got Colony 2K in trouble, and now they're on the run.
At least Nickpool has the gulag, and we'll see if he'll be able to fare. But for Colony 2K, and you find yourself in a 3v2 on Urzikstan, we are still isolated in the northeast over in military base as teams are flocking towards this side of the map. Can we find an angle? And if I'm FaZe Black right now, I don't want to give up any leg room. I don't care if I'm investing these precision airstrikes. I'm throwing down the smokes. We're cutting off the lines of sight. But we have to wait to see the results of that gulag from Nickpool.
Yeah, and again, it's a 2v3 right now, but this is going to be a tough building to just swing in and get a full wipe. So we're going to be here a little while. So we're going to check out some other squads. We're going to head down to FaZe in particular because, again, a squad that has had their ups and downs. We talked about them a ton yesterday. They made it into the top 10. They earned a decent amount of points. They've had a good day today. Sage is our top fragger. Reminder, as an individual, tied with Robstar. So a fantastic individual performance, but this team also doing well inside the top 10. Unfortunately, Sage getting caught out. He does have help over the top and maybe could bait out this Yavix team, but I don't think they're going to get that aggressive, not yet. Sage might be the one getting aggressive.
Yeah, it's going to be FaZe v EXO Esports, and that Falcons meta team is on the rotate just ahead of them. We ripped off some of those plates there for Yavix, but maybe Cam's lost still, not allowing Sage to grab any angles. That cross being held by Swag and Adrian, you love to see it. They're making sure they're looking for information. Can we find any bit of that opening knock to allow Sage to just jump on him like a wild dog?
Okay, well, I'm really excited to see where this new zone goes, because yes, we've lost 3 teams, but we technically don't know. Will it actually be the eastern side, as I suspect it will be? Will it be South Military Base, Superstore? No, it goes to Old Town, Low Town, likely going to end in low. This is very familiar from yesterday. A lot of these teams are very comfortable with this end zone, specifically that Team Aiden that is dead center.
Look, I love this, right? We saw them lurking back into Superstore where FIFA killing them now are, and we've already moved into Low Town. You've got your eyes set onto Reply Totem, but we're pretty separated throughout the buildings in Low Town. Smoke to cover the retreat, and we want to get back to the teammates and reunite, find the plan for the end game. We've got mortars, we've got plate boxes. We are set up for success. The only one without a self-res is DJ Moss, but they have a good bit of cash for the end game.
Yeah, and quick notes from that map, by the way, as well. Omit NA is obviously going to be coming in from the western side. On the cargo side, they're going to be running into Cloud 9 likely over there here shortly. Old Town, you're going to see that Sage and Swag team FaZe holding down the Old Town area, while Aiden's team's holding down Low Town. So those are the heavy hitting squads here. But DRN is here to continue to show that they're one of the best teams here. They've still got a lot to prove with that 20-point victory or whatever it was. It was close to it. They need more kills, Tiff, and this is a moment where they could do that.
We've got to be careful here. You got Nate Dogg on the roof. You heard it. Destroy said best IGL in the game, but DJ Moss does not have a self-res out by his lonesome here, and looks like a couple teams still trying to make their way. Z-Smith Aiden just ahead of them, but be cautious. Smokes to cover. Can we get an angle on Nate Dogg? And if we can't, make sure we join up with the forces to isolate. Looks like Raul for Z-Smith and Aiden. They are on the prowl.
Yeah, and again, another fantastic showcase of a great team that recognizes they have an advantage because the team is split. They're trying to push the equation. Unfortunately, it does look like Raul was able to make the great escape. He's able to get back over to Destroy, and they left DJ Moss in the dirt, which means DJ Moss gets cut down, and now it's turned back the other way, and Destroy's team can get aggressive if they want.
Still has Gulag though, but it makes it a 3v2. Look at Aiden behind the billboard over here looking for angles as DRN starts to close the distance, but DJ Moss on 2 has faced up against Swag here on the other side. You get that information on the left. We swing through the center. We hit fire, but Swag puts DJ down there now. A regain here for Aiden. Can we deal with this DRN roster and get DJ Mouse back into Urzikstan?
Swag hit some headshots on that one. My goodness, he went down quick. And because of it, like you mentioned, this team Aiden squad has to get out of dodge.
Aidan.
They're gonna run right into the open arms of the Germans here with Pentagon, Fuzzin, Melvin. They're right around the corner, and we're dropping cash to our teammates as they come flying back in and rotate in. We'll see how that one goes. But to Omit NA we go because, well, they've made a big rotation. They actually came all the way over from the northern side of the map, northwestern side, Levin area. They were fighting exiles, and they've rotated in across cargo, across the river, and have made it to Old Town. The exiles team went actually on the other side, have crossed the river over by military. So these two teams likely won't be fighting for a little while, and right now it's about holding position for in-game. Where do we go from here as Aiden's team's in trouble yet again?
Well, Z-Smith in the gulag. Aiden still on it, still looking for cash, looking for resources, needing a buy station, but we are getting poked, we are getting prodded, and DRN taking down some phase. Can Aiden finesse himself out of this one? Back to gas station we go, looking for the closest buy station. Does have the cash, but we've got to withstand the pressure.
Oh no.
No!
Z-Smith goes down. Aiden is last alive for his team. He's gonna get no help right now as a solo. Gonna go for a quick buyback because he's got just enough for it. He's gonna drop some cash on the buy, and look how much cash Z-Smith have. They have enough to get DJ, but they are still on their back foot. They're not done yet, but on their back foot, and here comes COD Immunity. They had one of the longest rotations from the southwestern side of the map, deep in city. They went very deep for a couple kills and have come out better for it. Coming on 6 right now. Team likely closing in on double digits, if not past it, as they try to address the south side of the zone.
Team Echo, Omit NA, in a bit of trouble there per the kill feed, but it's the Falcons here getting their portable buy station on in, making sure that they can get the resources needed to take on potentially Zach Paolo, Azen on the other side, Youngstas in the Gulag, FLS on the other side. Smokes to cover, but we are prone, we are patient. Can we find them?
One thing I know about Youngstas is that he is a very patient player, and it looks like FLS is going to wait as well. He's going to make a move. FLS, the snap! FLS wins it! There was likely life in the game. Omit NA not done in the Gulag. It's just Brax, last alive, the only player remaining from Omit NA after a very strong start to day 2. All of a sudden, back against the wall, maybe falling here. If we lose this Gulag, we go out in the first 8-9 teams.
This is not good. Omit NA, Brax on 4. Nice, and on the other side, must-win situation to keep this moving for them. The up and up, lackluster day 1, different day today. The push in, the cracks there, and we are coming back. Omit NA stays in the game.
When all else fails, barrel stuff your opponents at the Gulag. We take those. Omit NA still in it, but a long way to go. The Falcons, speaking of a long way to go, playing edge of zone yet again and having to make a very treacherous cross. Luckily, their opponents, Team 40 just lost their teammate, so with only 2, they can't play quite as aggressive, and it's actually XMQ on the other side. It's going to be the first team that the Falcons could look at. It's also the Exiles. You're not seeing them on the minimap. They're on the high ground outside of Old Town. Team 7, watch out for them. They could have an angle on the Falcons and more.
Well, a regain still needed here for Team Aiden. They can't catch a break in a blender here in game number 4. I love that you called out the Exiles, though. That is the exact spot on this type of circle pool that the Falcons are going to look to play. Once they get through XTH, they're going to set their strikes straight onto Exiles, so keep an eye on that for now. But if you're on the south side for Team Aiden looking for a regain, hopefully you can get it done, because there are still squads like that Uno Gaming X West Esports squad nearby.
Yeah, and quick update, by the way, if you're watching the kill feed, and I know you all are, the Falcons did wipe XMQ and his team. APAC is down and out, and the Falcons have taken that position in zone. It's not a great one, but it is in zone, so they've got a second to breathe and think about where they go. FaZe in trouble, likely on their last leg, so the back of Sage, their top fragger, on the train, riding it to, I don't know, I guess the lobby. This is brutal for Sage, and somebody's going to clean him up. It's just a question of who. As Sage is on 0, this is not FaZe's game.
Look, this is going to be the greatest distraction if I've ever seen it. We're going to stop the train right on here. It's Colony 2K. You just hear the Moors trying to connect through the walls of the train. But for now, we'll get back moving to the north. We go. Yeah, this is a distraction if I've ever seen one, because we've got to go back up just high ground, meet up with the squad mates who are already in the next circle.
I know Ted Timmons is out there watching and loving some train action. Unfortunately, we lose Sage, Adrian, and Doozy still alive, but not near their teammates. So we only have 2 remaining on this phase squad, but look at the resources. I mean, they have nothing. They've got to get to this loadout. They've got to make a play for it, or they don't have a game on their hands at all. Here's a quick look at that new zone, by the way. You see the Exiles, a yellow 7 at the top of it, in a really good spot on high ground. Still a decent amount of cover there with the rolling hills. And yet again, it's Super Evan's team dead center of zone, but they have to find kills if they want to jump up this leaderboard and earn a sizable amount of cash. You also see Community right around the corner from FaZe in that pink 20. They're here lying in wait. They are a top 5 team.
You said kills, and Omit EU said, yes, sir, I'll give that straight towards you. FIFA kill in the distance, and this is where we start the gatekeeping. I'm only worried about the water cross later, but FaZe Black on your screen, and he's looking to close the gap, find the angles, let it rip with the thermites, but choo-choo, the train is here, and call it 2K. We knew you were a wild card, but this is a good way to shake some things up.
Gotta stop that
¿Se
train.
atropelló el tren? ¿Cómo?
Keep going. Goodbye.
Stop
Ese
that
error,
train.
¿qué
There's a
pedo?
John Mayer song in there somewhere, but Gromeloc's looking for a couple eliminations on the edge, and like you said, they were
Es un error
holding edge
fatal.
of zone, and frankly, it does look like as the train, we're gonna get a replay of the train.
Wait,
Actually,
no! Not like this, not on main stage. Thank you, production, for the replay, but man, that one hurts. Can we get him back in? I saw the portable buy trying to come on in. You've got cash. We need Heeds back in the fray.
John Mayer's on our stat sheet somewhere with a single elimination, or maybe it's Thomas, I don't know. Even still, the Falcons right now, we're losing both.
Falcons?
Up on both, we called it, it's Exiles.
Do we
We're
get it?
still in it for a moment, but Jackal's gotta see him.
Hisoka,
Somebody
no
look,
mames.
no. How are the Falcons still in it? Hisoka is alive. Bush, Wookie, or otherwise, this man is
But
still up.
look at Dark, though. PDS, he'll be incoming,
Dark
and
solo
Soka
también
knows it. 2
lo va a matar.
eliminations. If Dark's not careful, he's going to get his head ripped off. Another PDS gives him more information. Oh, are we doing this?
It's BD Binza right behind as well, deep in the gas. Dark knows Hisoka is here, and it's maybe the only player until those shots are fired. I mean, we have to stay here. Falcons have an opportunity right now to open up this leaderboard to a new leader for the first time in eons. And that's exactly what happens. BD Binza, maybe not that high up the leaderboard, but they know exactly what they need to do to open it up as Aiden's team also falls near the final game here. This is brutal for everybody unless you're in lower than 10th place right now. You are screaming to the fences and saying, yes, please, we want more games. This is one of the only other squads still in this game that could continue to push the equation on the leaderboard and maybe take the lead with Aiden's squad down.
Yeah, all eyes on Team Community scumming on 8 eliminations. Don't take too long there. Keep your resources for the end games. We're even throwing the bouncing Betties on the stairways, but the Revenge Tour, they're on the rotate. So many teams looking at that building, trying to escape. Bunker busters, smokes galore, and well, quite frankly, here we go. Down goes the mine, and we're already shooting to make sure we can do as much damage as quickly as possible. Take one down, rip it apart.
This new zone is going to be everything.
It's so cheesy, man, but I love it.
This new zone, whatever this poll is everything. And look at where it goes. Exiles in a perfect position to try to get 2 wins today. Look at Squad 7 holding Watch Waldo on the cross across the river. We're looking for top 10. We're going to lose Colony 2K here likely. We're going to lose a lot of multipliers. Somehow Sage still in this one, but the Exiles have taken one of the best positions on this spot. Now, yes, they're low ground, but they have a ton of cover, whereas a lot of these other teams do not have this same luxury. I like this spot for a top 5 position. We'll see what these final circles look like.
Yeah, but I'm nervous about this side of the circle as the pool comes through. It's going to be high risk, but you can walk away with a ton of eliminations. DRN across the way, Team Vitality with Steve-O just there, and FaZe, Adrian, and Swag as well as they get another squad wipe. Incoming streaks are going to help, but the Exiles, they'll have a safe course of passage on the north. And Little A here in a bit of trouble. Swag down and out, and we've got cash, but can we get on out? And we don't see them scumming from taken out by J-Tech. Revenge Tour wreaking havoc.
Dongi last alive for his team. They get cut down. Top 10, a good game, but not the game they were hoping for. Revenge Tour enacts revenge and then moves on their merry way. Vitality's still in this potentially, but again, it's the Exiles on the low ground in one of the best positions right now. Where does the zone pull? It doesn't go to the Exiles this time. It's Team 29. It's FaZe Black still in this somehow. They've got an opportunity for a massive game because they get zone rotation. Top 5, DRN cut down just out of the 1.8. They needed it bad. Now the question is who's gonna get the 2x, and Jackal's saying we've got to make a play for down low.
Noob's still up, but the Wolf goes down, and they set their sights straight onto him, clearing out the rotations. We get ripped from the left, Frolic down as well. Huskers last standing. We saw the clutch just in that prior map, but we have to keep on moving. We are caught between so many players here on top of the bridge. It's not going to be enough. We will fall with a 1.8x multi, but look at the rotate coming in from EXO Esports.
It's Cams, it's Loss. It's Yavix. We've been waiting on you this entire tournament. FaZe Black to try to play spoiler. Gabe Kuhn, he shoots straight. And when you have all of your teammates alive, an opportunity knocks. Will FaZe Black take it, or will Cams play spoiler? 2 down. It is all up to Gabe. Win the 1v1 game. FaZe Black are your winners. Unbelievable. Well done. Amazing rotation from Military, the regain, and the win. Finally, we can scream FaZe Black's name. Welcome to the party, gentlemen. The question is, how many eliminations did they have? And was it worth it? Was it enough to earn an extra set of cash?
Do you remember just a few games ago when you were asking for Gabe Kuhn in general to prove that he could be Rookie of the Year status on LAN?
I've been asking.
You watched the same game I did?
I've been asking for, I think everybody's been asking, all right? There's been a lot of chatter, and look, online tourneys are different, LAN is different. This is stressful.
True.
Teams play different. You got to figure it out along the way, but when you have player advantage, you have all of your teammates, and you just tell Gabe, go fry and shoot straight. I know he can do that. He can do that very, very well. Very well done from this team to come out on top in this one. And again, there's just this lurking question. How many kills did they actually have? I don't know how many teams they ran into that they were able to eliminate to have a decent game out of that one. The 2x, when you get it, it comes so rarely, you've got to make it count. And I don't know how many they have.
Well, knowing what the point sponge at the top of the leaderboard has already looked like, there's a
unsure about their total kill tally that I was kind of like, oh, was it enough? They jumped up to 4th place. FaZe Black dropped a 38-point game in that one. Flank dropped 10 kills. That is a monster effort. We knew they had it in them. We've just been waiting to see. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. If you're a fan of competition, yesterday we walked out of the venue. You and I were talking. We said, what do the other teams have to do? The teams that struggled, because it was an absolute domination. And well, frankly, our big thought was change up your strategy. But for FaZe Black, they've been landing in the same place over and over again. This time, things are just going their way. Maybe it's skill, maybe it's luck, probably a little bit of the combination. It's Warzone, and it is time for map number 5. Folks, we might be going the distance. We might be going to double digits, but for now, let's see what this map has to offer.
Well, look at that. Potentially to the north we go. I look for Omit EU, and they're going down to Manor again. Now, if we're going to split the difference here of Urzikstan from north to south, we'll start things off here with Omit NA as they get things moving. This squad firing on all cylinders compared to yesterday, and I can only imagine with Juju on 14 eliminations, still looking pretty powerful here. I can only imagine even Youngstas, man, breaching that 13 elims also. This squad, keep an eye on them, I'm telling you.
Very consistent, very strong team. I literally sat next to Brax on the plane ride over here. He was giving me all the tips and tricks. He said, we never get contested. Speaking of being contested, it looks like a total abandonment of form here from Omit T & Co. They've gone to the bottom of high rise in this area in city instead of contesting Cloud9. Is this good news for Cloud9 in the technical second half of day 2? Possibly, but still a lot of ground to make up if you're a Cloud9 fan and or an Omit T fan and co. So we'll see, but right now, Community, all eyes on you because you are the closest team that could theoretically take down the Falcons or at least take the lead from them here shortly. Now, we've got to remind people, Tip, 150 points is what we're going for. We are 50 away still. We did watch the Falcons drop the 60-point game, and theoretically, this end zone might go to pop-off.
It really might, but for Brolic, he's just out here trying to take the battle of the fence. Reaper on the other side, game plays, and we're trying to finesse it, but it's not going to go your way. Jackal and Husker still a bit too far away. Hopefully Brawley can get out of the gulag because Jackal is down on the ground as well. The full comes through. Not how you want to kick things off, especially with that earlier match win. We're still working on that leapfrog up the leaderboard, but Brawley goes. It's Navi, it's Levi on the other side.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. We haven't seen that much from Navi today. They had a pretty solid performance yesterday with top 10 team, and now Levi gets the better of Brawley, unfortunately getting cut down. The Exiles, a very frustrating start, I'm sure, with a couple being sent to the gulag and a couple losses. Now, Omit NA now being challenged because, well, they've pushed the equation on Cloud 9. Look at where they've rotated to. They took their drop spot for free, they got their loadout, and they are flying on Cloud 9. So not being contested this time by T, but instead, Omit NA says, we need more kills, so we're going to push the equation into Seaport. We know we can win those fights.
Must win already for the Exiles, who do not want to be exiled here. Team Vitality on the other side with Stevo. Prone, patient. We already have one elimination, but that stun, oh boy, here we go. The angles, Huskers reads it, puts a lot of damage down, but unfortunately doesn't get the full crack.
Long sight line. Definitely goes to the side of Huskers. Here's the push through the smoke. Huskers connects. That's a broken plate, but job's not done. Zip is up. He's gonna go for it. No, wait, it's a bait and switch. Gonna go for the kill, and he gets it with 1 HP and a dream. Huskers keeps his dream alive in map number 5. That was undeniably ballsy, and he was able to pull it out and get right back into this map. He could have been the first team fully eliminated.
I don't know how you stay sane in a moment like that, because you have to be locked in. I'm over here like, I can't breathe. I can't. And Team Echo, well, hello to COD community we go. Prodigy last standing. Oki in the gulag. Echo fully eliminated, and who knows if Prodigy has burned theirs. But here comes Dongi, a shooter in the right, but Prodigy puts him down.
Yes. That's one of those moments you're gonna look back on and say, dang, do we really have to spend money on that? I mean, that's brutal, right? It's a 3v1. Just hold your horse for just a moment. Maybe a little bit of some weakness from this team, but Donkey said, don't worry, I'm just gonna go get my kill in the gulag. My bad, let me get some revenge. Oki on the other side. These two teams are fighting on the map now into the gulag together. Oki and Dongi, both fantastic, young, good customs player. Barrel stop.
Wow.
Dongi gets the win this time around. And Prodigy's gonna try to keep their dreams alive. This could be a strong team being eliminated first if Prodigy loses this.
I mean, we are sitting in the top 10, in 7th place. You cannot lose any bit here. And, well, it was shaky, but it doesn't have to be perfect. We get back to go. The regain is here. Sorry, Nida.
All right, collective deep breath. That was wild. Oh, no, this is a quick look back at Huskers. I just had a panic there for a moment, but this crazy play from Huskers. Ballsy gets the kill, pushes the equation. Look at his health. I love you, production. That right there is the definition of an iota. Learn it and own it, Mr. Huskers. Let's see if they're able to regain. As you see, Jackals die again, which means Exiles not out of the blender yet. As we actually take a look over at Aiden's team, who's flying in and getting punished by FaZe Black. This time, FaZe Black says, you're not pushing us out of military, not this time, as they take down the rest of Navi.
Yeah, this is gonna get real mixy pretty quick, honestly. At least we have all three back up again. Navi looking on the regain in the dead center, but FaZe Black on the other side. Blast looking for angles. I'm so glad we got to hear from Gabe, but you have to realize we're on some low ground. People can take angles from the right, so you have to be very aware of all sides, especially with all the open windows in these buildings.
Here's a look at that zone, by the way. We don't know that we're going to pop off, not yet. It could be more to the military side. We're gonna have to wait and see, but currently this is the exact same rotation that this team Aiden did earlier. Last map, they came up here, grabbed some kills on FaZe Black and other squads up here, and then rotated all the way down to Lowtown when they saw what the new zone was, because we didn't go all the way up to the northern side last map. This time around, they might end up staying up here pending new zone, so watch out for that third circle. We'll try to show it. It's going to be very important for some of these teams that prefer the south, but FaZe continues their reign of terror here in Lowtown as they find kill after kill after kill. Not out of the blender yet with two teams in the area, but right now FaZe, again, they're moving on all cylinders and they're looking very clean for a team that had a lot of ups and downs.
You gotta stay healthy though, especially with multiple teams in the area. Team Clown over there and Team Pentagon just ahead over here in Lowtown. Elsewhere, we have to see which side do we commit to, the military base or pop-off power. The Falcons of the North have been deciding, so they're hanging around that bridge coastal line of things. So where is FaZe going to do when they need to get out of Lowtown all the way on that southern side? But if you're playing for eliminations, especially with all of this cash, knowing that that fire sale is about to occur at the top of Circle 3, we get advanced UAVs and we eliminate everyone around us.
Yeah, it's a great shout, and we're actually going to head to the gulag because Community hunting the edge of zone loses Unrational. So Unrational's going to take a fight against Autorize. This is not an easy one, albeit Super Evans team haven't had a great day today or yesterday. Autorize, a fantastic player making his debut on land, been playing the game since the beginning. No shots connecting, finally a barrel stuff, and Autorize lives up to the hype, wins the one. Forces Community to play with 2 for now.
Well, it's okay though. Remember I said that fire sale, but you've got to survive another minute or so, especially it'll be cost friendly to get Unrational back on in, but Dongy burning alive, 1 HP. Running tempered though, so 2 plates to get him back up to full. Still hunting that. Now you got to think 4 eliminations already for this game. If they would have went the distance in that last one, but you don't check the corner. My man is prone over there.
He's got the trade though. Scumman's able to play the trade. We've lost 1 on the other side too, so this is a 2v1 right now. A great position. We're going to burn the self just to make sure. Clean up on X and Q and Co means Apex is going to fall yet again. Send him to the gulag, likely not fully eliminated, but even still, as expected, Community, high risk, high reward. It's been paying off this entire tournament. They play edge of zone, they hunt for kills, and they're already on like 8 or 9 as a team. This is a really strong start.
Look, I don't care if they win a game. They need to breach 150, and that's when you win. You don't have to burn those just yet. The race to 150 is live, and with it kind of soaring up with the waterline dead center, it's going to come down to those IGLs to predict which side pop off power. A ton of playable space on there. The Falcons have elected to go further towards the west. As we see, Team Community get all 3 back. They are on the utmost southern side and will have one heck of a rotation to make.
Long journey ahead of them, but already on 9 eliminations confirmed by our map feed. Also lighting up the kill feed, you see Omit EU. Where are they? Oh, they're way up on the northern side of military already. So they made a huge wrap up there a while ago, playing for what they believe to be in-game. Historically, they've been nearly right every time, so I'm expecting a military base ending. If I'm an Omit EU fan, that's definitely the better position. And right now, when we look at that map, there is no one in a country mile from the Falcons if they're able to clean up that final player. And Omit EU, they've got some competition.
And Gramalok down, he's quite low. Enkyo, though, still looking for this player. A little ring around the rosies, a card just trying to get on out. I'd imagine he's looking for a pace to just turn around, but looks lost, quite frankly, and Enkyo cleans it up.
Just too many, right? When you have player advantage, you're going to win that 9 times out of 10. And they do a good job of not losing a player, right? Unlike what Community experienced before, they played slow, they played together, they got the kill and didn't lose a life. Nice job.
¿Qué pasa, Rodolfo? ¿Cómo andas? No te había mirado, güey. ¿Qué rollo? Ahora estoy haciendo unas cosillas. Esa es la final del mundial de Warzone, güey. Los mejores 40 equipos jugando la final en Las Vegas. Ayer fue la primera etapa, ahora es la segunda.
On screen, you're seeing our Falcons, MENA, also losing a player.
Están jugando todos los equipos, como el equipo del día Biffel, Aidan, Hisoka, Amir, Panda TV, todos los mejores 40 equipos de todo el mundo. Ahorita va en primer lugar el equipo de Chifty, este equipo. Allá mira al lado derecho, ahí arriba dice Team Falcon, es el equipo de Díaz Biffel. Aidan, ese Community creo que es el Dongy. Anda pegando durísimo el Dongy. Uy, lo pudo ver. Aquí ahorita me voy a poner a hacer comida, güey. Pero voy a dejar la transmisión ahí.
Not close, not that aren't contested that we can tell. So Omit NA, they got third party, by the way, from Falcons, like I mentioned. We're able to get
Dongy?
out. Now
Oh, se hizo la baja el Dongy.
into pop off right where they left off.
Well, here comes Team Community Scummin once again on 5 eliminations.
En la quinta partida, falta una más y falta una partida de Solo Yolo. Solo Yolo es modo solitario por $50,000. Se vale de todo.
Unrational Dongy smoking and getting in, making sure that we can hold it. Dongy and Unrational themselves, they'll full send. Honestly, I think Scumman's looking for the jump off.
Yeah, this kill
Van por él,
free. The problem is you get another team lurking and waiting. It's a matter of time when you get this kill, and you're just hoping you don't get shot in the back while you're trying to do it, or lose Dongy, who gets over-aggressive sometimes. And luckily, that's a freebie. There it is.
Cayó, ¿no?
32. Sí. They don't shoot right now.
So,
yeah, we're chilling. Community somehow able to make their way through part of the zone. And guess what? Our new zone has just popped, and it's Still, dead center, the river, bisecting new zone, showing both military and Popov, slightly favoring military, omit EU, free and clear on the northeastern side of the map.
I really love their positioning, right? If I would choose to regain, I would want to clear out the northern side. We've seen a lot of circles
No te mueve, cabrón, a los códigos. Porque luego no va a venir gente a verme o algo.
Ahí va uno, free. Wari. Vamos a la isla, creo, güey. Patear esta madre. Vamos atrás de ellos, no trae nada. Vamos atrás de ellos. Son 3. Acaban de tirar un búnker a la frente.
This side of the map
Bien ahí,
for them
voy
to
de
take a nice rotation in from the western side into the western side of the new zone. We're going to be just south of the Falcons in a really good position.
Están aquí abajo, están aquí abajo.
Looks like Tommy is right DRN and well, still finding Navi here.
Nice.
Zephyr looks to be closing here.
Nice.
Youngsters, Juju, okay, inside the room, smoking, get on out, don't get upset, and more cleanups this time, takes near Castillo. Z-Dark, the fragger trying to hold on, but can't do it.
Right now, this squad is just inevitable. They're going to find eliminations. This is an unreal amount of kills already. They need this multiplier, and unfortunately, in a 3v1, they will fall yet again. They cannot get the placement, but they still find the kills. They had 6.
Your squad mate failed their mission. They're headed back to base.
Te comió, mi. Te comió.
Nice, cabrón, nice. Bueno, cabrón. Ey, Dark, va a hacer caer en el agua acá puro placement y la verdad este pedo de que cae aquí. De cae. A lo mejor más atrás, güey, vas a dar. Ah, no. Tampoco en un lugar que no te vayan a ver todo.
Ten cuidado nomás ahí.
I like that.
¿Y qué andas haciendo qué?
Estás bien ahí, güey.
Te vengo.
Tienes que sacar.
Deja la partida, te vengo.
Have to loot up. This is going to be a tough one for the Falcons. They're going to have to slow down so they can still play for endgame.
Slow? What do you mean? This is the Falcons we're talking about. They're currently sitting on 13 eliminations. They resupply here up on the plates, and we're going to have to find some cash, which means we have to eliminate our enemies around us. That means omit NA, CT Black. You've got to watch on out, but keep an eye on the Exiles. The team looks to take their position.
Yeah, and frankly, this is actually a massive opportunity for the Falcons to gap their main competition. Reminder, they're only up by, 2 points on COD Munity? COD Munity dropped 16, a good game, but not a great one, and they're already out of it. So anything that the Falcons get right now is a massive boon for them. Sure, there's other teams in contention, but not that close, so they're trying to make a play here. This is a 3v2. Now Shifty flying back in. Omit NA not knowing that didn't push the equation. They should have swung on Ahsoka and Biffle, and because they didn't, Shifty's in the equation, and now Omit NA are on the run.
Come on, CT Black needs to look at this as well. You can't just stay over there and be a third-party innocent bystander. Brax down and out. Juju falling low in health, and Youngsters as well to join them. But now CT Black joins the equation, like you said, and this could be different. They are going to sandwich the Falcons inside this building.
This fight's taking too long for both teams. That Panda squad's lying in wait and ready to take the rest.
Shifty down.
Shifty down from Panda. It's the perfect third party. Panda getting involved finally in this leaderboard, potentially taking out one of the top teams. As we've lost Shifty, Biffle and Ahsoka again, like you said, a nice kill tally, but they need these multipliers. Folks, we still got 23 teams in this lobby. As Ahsoka says, okay, you want placement, Coach? Fine, I'll fly to high ground and lurk and lie and wait. We've got enough kills. We need the multi to pay off, so I'm gonna let my teammates die and just do my thing.
We're still on the cargo side. We have $70. The self-res comes through, but now when you've got other teams still looking to gatekeep you, it's EXO Esports, the end game. We saw them just that cross map, and they were looking to work on cleaning up these squads. Juju just down in front of Youngsters. We don't have a gas mask, no PDS. but the time is right, and we don't even have a smoke. We are just going for it. If we don't see them, we don't look at them, no one knows we're here. But Exiles in the building ahead, Soka in the tower.
It's got to be trigger discipline. Ahsoka just has to sit there and wait. He cannot make a move. If he starts shooting his gun, people are going to know they're going to shoot at him. He needs top 10. This is a great map for them with the multipliers. It's going to stretch the equation. We lose Omit in A in 18th place, so they also don't achieve a massive multi, as Exiles have a decent position, but they lose one and get bunker busted, and Ahsoka is just still playing that high ground position. Who's still alive? It's Team Aiden trying to play spoiler. Could potentially have a really strong game right now to close this gap on the Falcons and COD Community, having a pretty decent game in their belt and still plenty of multipliers to play for.
Well, you got Insight Gaming owning the train, working on getting to the circle. FaZe Black just ahead of DJ Moss, and this is going to be so epic for them. Now think of a brilliant game if they can just get double-digit eliminations and then maybe a 2x multiplier. They can call the top of the leaderboard after this, depending on what Soka is able to do. But now we go, we get the train, we get the replenish on the ammo, we look forward. FaZe to the right, FaZe Black to the right as well. We need to claim the train.
Oh, the battle for the train is currently a brutal one, as Ahsoka is trying to make a huge play here. Has to move to zone, so he goes into the water. Hello, Robstar.
What?
Top kill leader. Sorry, buddy. See you later. Ahsoka now on 5.
We got more plates.
We're creeping up to top 10. Ahsoka knows where he needs to get to. Just make sure he doesn't drown as he's getting shot at. Everybody's looking at him. Everybody's looking at the water. Quite literally fish in a barrel. So let's smoke and run for cover, or rather swim for it. As Exiles, the entire team in the water. Revenge Tour in the water. And Ahsoka has a moment to breathe, literally, to replate back up and try to make a play. He's one of the best players in the game for a reason. This is a massive moment to very easily 3 teams could die in the next 15 seconds. That could be all he needs to make it to top 10 and get a nice multiplier to move on his merry way to further up this leaderboard.
They don't know there's a shark in the water.
Wiz.
The fact that no one has found out yet. A stun connects. We're still peeking. Here comes the damage. Not a lot. We're moving straight on over, but back to swag we go. We talked about the battle for the train, and well, we're working on it.
He's done it. Hisoka is out, but he got 10th. He got his multiplier. An unreal effort. A great game, but we're just now into the end game, and the battle for the train is deep in the gas. This train will not stop, not right now. So Saint puts the kills, picks up Stukex in transition, and Adrian's able to make it to zone. Makes it into the top 8, looking for top 5. Aiden and Z-Smith, a duo off to the edge of the map, hunting kills in gas as well. Omit EU still in this, way deep in the gas, probably PDSing, hoping for the zone pull.
Team Aiden just wiped. Down to the final 5 we go. Little A, a solo here on your screen. 1 elimination, no money to buy the teammates back, and look at the pool for them. Every elimination here will be worth 1.8 if we can get them. The static HV, all we have, thanks to the base mag of 50, could do the work. But FLS down. Gooey last standing, and well, you've got the Exiles. They've already won 1, and they're looking to go back to full form. But not. They get wiped. Gooey clutches. FLS is up. This is crazy.
Exiles are fully eliminated. Gooey's on 11 eliminations. Omid EU so deep in the gas with so many PDSs. Inkyo a solo. It's a 2v1v1 with Adrian on one side, Inkyo on the other. They're pushing Inkyo. Adrian has a third-party possibility, but he's low ground. He can't make the play. Omid EU goes down. It's the final 2 teams, and it's Adrian as a solo. He's got to win 1v2 with the PDS. Adrian, this is going to be a brutal fight, my man. I'm not sure you can do it. It's going to be Gooey. FLS on top. They did fantastic yesterday. Fantastic consistency. Welcome back to the podium. Welcome back to the main stage. That was a gigantic game from a trio not a lot of folks expected a ton from.
Well, the North are looking pretty good in the North as they clear that on out, get that 2x multiplier. We saw the moments of brilliance throughout day number 1. Every time they were the ones that were putting detriment down towards the Falcons, and well, they keep on doing it. That 2x multiplier, hoping to shoot them up the leaderboard.
Man, what a finish. And again, a huge shout out to Omit EU for making it to the end zone. Adrian, of course, as well. But this squad, unreal amount of eliminations, at least from the side of Gooey with 11. I'm sure they passed a couple across. I mean, that's a 30-point game at least, and then some. This leaderboard, folks, is so incredibly close. And they're celebrating one of their players right now. because that was a big win for them. We saw FaZe Black jump from way down bottom of the leaderboard all the way up to 4th place. That's how close this leaderboard is. This team likely about to do the same. We could very easily see them into the top 5, at the very least top 10.
This is where I start getting really excited because I love when I am wrong, and I love when we get a real sick series on our hands, especially with all the points being so close to the top of the leaderboard. Hey, well, a new challenger has arisen.
Wow. And again, this is one of those teams we talked about, like in the green room, building up to this event. We're like, I mean, maybe, right? They've had moments and glimpses of greatness, especially recently in scrims and tourneys, but I didn't expect them to show out this big on main stage, especially into day 2. Very proud of this team. They are dominating right now, and that map is a big, big map for them. And after their first drop disaster in day 1, they turned it all around and were hyper consistent up until now. So very cool stuff from the squad. I'm excited to look at this last stand and see how it all panned out and how they won this one. And again, it goes back to this moment. Again, we've got to tip our hat every time we look at these last stands because Hisoka was barely able to make it to top 10. And look who actually killed him. It was Gooey, the thorn in their side, back in their side. And we can see where they were. They were on ultimate high ground, so they had the best position and the most information.
Exactly, and even though the Exiles look to try and clear it all out, this fight right here essentially wins them the game. The 3v2, FLS down and out first claps, and this is where the clutch comes in. It's Gooey, right? Tries to finesse around, FLS gets back on up, hits the trades, and then we just focus on the north, the LTV to kind of get closer over towards Enkyo. Sure, yeah, we're running into a couple of loadouts. That's no big deal. But what's even kind of crazy here is we're shooting the trophy system before we actually shoot Enkyo. And he elects to just kind of dive away before turning around to fight them. And you essentially get sandwiched by the north.
And unfortunately, it just looked like Adrian wasn't able to be the mountain goat that we needed him to be to get up here to actually third party. He was about 2 seconds late, which frankly in Warzone is way too long. There was a chance Adrian could have won that fight. He needed to be there when they addressed each other. It's the classic moment in the end game where you've got to be the third party. You can't be late to the party. So we're going to head down to the stage with Miles with an interview on the stage.
Thank you guys, a very special guest. The second time we've got to speak today, man. Firstly, congratulations on a very, very exciting win. What were the final moments like for you and the team?
I mean, we were like flowing. Everything was going like we wanted it to be. No one died, so yeah, perfect.
Perfect. We love the sound of that. Perfect. It can't always be perfect, and that's why you're wearing this. Now, for the folks at home who don't know, you got given this when you were the first team eliminated from the competition. And we saw each other in the hotel yesterday. Do you remember what you said to me?
I said I want to wear the medal when we win a map tomorrow.
And you're a man of your word. You said you'd win it, you'd wear it, and here we are. Incredible turnaround, man. You've got some points now. You're flying up the board. How's the team feeling? What's the mood like in the camp?
I think this is what we needed to get really back into it. Yeah.
Well, man, I wish you the best of luck, sir. Good luck with the next one. We'll see you later. Back to the desk.
Oh, yeah, back to the desk. Game number 5 has concluded. How many games will we get today? Well, we at least have a couple of more before the 150-point threshold has been reached, right? Which, again, people were already saying we would be at 150 points by this point, and, well, we haven't reached it. Gooey, by the way, making good on his promise, saying, hey, I said we were going to win a game today, and they did exactly that. Talk to me about Team North. I mean, coming out of nowhere, they were relatively quiet yesterday. They did have big moments, specifically with FLS challenging, I believe, Falcons, if I'm not mistaken, taking them down early. But today, they've been non-existent. Now they're here.
Yeah, what I love about this team is that they've decided to change a couple of things in terms of their strategy. 2 Danish lads, 1 Swedish. They have practiced varying drop spots. The one thing I can accuse them of sometimes is being a little bit passive on the slaying front. And they actually came into this game with just 23 kills on the board, sat very much so in mid-table here today. They go absolutely huge there. Pick up much more kills in terms of your aggression. See Gooey there finishing on double digits. And that's what I want to see from this team. A wonderful set of guys. And I'd love to see them continue to put on through this tournament. Goji brought it up a few times. They tend to start slow and then pick up through the rest of the tournament. They did that in finals. They've done that here yesterday, and then it looks like they may well do that again today.
Well, the good news is we could have 10, 20 games, so if they continue to pick it up by game 15, who knows, they might be on top. As we look at our highlights from game number 5, you start to notice some big hitters are falling a little bit early. Dream, Team Falcons, 10th place. Hisoka seems to be the one hanging on by a thread consistently, not necessarily because he's playing bad, but because he's put in that position. But one good thing he does is he gets the placement points, gets the multiplier.
Yeah, and that's one of the things for the Falcons too, as it just really seems like Hisoka's kind of one of the players that does get picked off first, and like they're just always trying to find this situation where they need to regain. And you know, Biffle coming out clutch was able to res Soka, so him staying alive as long as he did in the water, as you saw him trying to swim around and just staying alive, I still think they hit, what, at 1.6 multiplier.
1.6 is good, and Aiden as well, 6th place, right? We're talking about the 2 heavy hitters currently on the standings.
Yeah, but the thing that kind of troubles me about that is if Team Aiden is able to just survive for one more team placement, you go from a 1.6 to a 1.8, and in a game where the Falcons are struggling, these are the opportunities that you have to sort of jump up the leaderboard and usurp that throne. So while Falcons maybe sure are having some of these games that are a little bit lackluster, what I'm not seeing is the other teams that are poised to take those points away, being able to jump up the leaderboard, right? So being able to go down in 6, yeah, you're missing out on that 1.8 times multiplier, and those type of small differences could be the make or break between you being on top.
Well, the thing is, Falcons have had 2 relatively lackluster games for what we're expected, and let's not make a mistake, they haven't won a game today, which is totally polar opposite of what it was yesterday. They're still in first place. I want to make that very abundantly clear. They're still in first place, but teams need to be capitalizing off of Falcons not finishing where we are used to seeing them. In the past 2 games, I don't feel continuity, even though they did close that gap. This game wasn't as good. Aiden and them missing out on that multiplier. They could have definitely passed up Team Falcons in the points region. But again, circling back, we have Team North taking first place in a very dominating fashion. Gooey with, what, 12 eliminations by the finish, maybe 13. Dream, that is huge.
Yeah, absolutely huge too. And it just seems like a lot of these teams just picking up as many eliminations as they can, because even when you see teams kind of take away with that leaderboard, those bottom half teams are really going to start to fire up, and we're continuing to see that. And I mean, even for, you look at COD Community 2, teams that just have 23 eliminations, that is absolutely insane. But for Team North, having 23 and being able to pick up that win, all smiles around.
Clavs in, Gooey, FLS, making it happen. Like we said, Gooey, or like he said, I should say, making good on the promise of winning a game today. They did exactly that. Enigma, EMEA, we were talking about them fighting each other. Stop it. We just want to continue to move forward, focus on the other regions. Well, Gooey winning in the way they did, that's good news.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's, again, another belief moment. Is one of those big times where we've not had a good day, quite frankly, in this region. And suddenly you see them pick up that kind of victory. A lot of kills involved as well. It's not a passive one. It's not one where you've hidden away and played in towards the end zone and maybe picked up a few kills. We're not talking about like a 5-point victory. This is going to be absolutely massive for them, lift them way into the conversation when we're talking about prize money. And all of a sudden, you know, we've seen it with squads like the Falcons. We've seen it with several of our other squads. As soon as you get that one under your belt, you suddenly feel a lot better about your decision-making through your afternoon.
You know, another team that's been playing very well, we've highlighted them, I think, literally every single game, and that's Team FaZe, right? Swag, Sage, and Adrian, the young gun. Playing so very well, finishing towards the top end of that last game. They continue to elevate themselves up in the standings, and speaking of which, let's get caught up with how the standings are currently looking. So, no surprise, Falcons are still in first. COD Community is hot on their heels. Team Aiden, kind of that gap starts to grow a bit, right? 24 total points between the two.
Yeah, the thing is, though, you kind of mentioned it. Falcons haven't won a game today, but honestly, that doesn't worry me. We've seen multiple tournaments where Team Falcons have not won a singular game until they get onto that match point, and then they win the only game that honestly matters. So even though to be able to see them be able to come on up, they're at 124 points. It's a little bit kind of great to see. They only need 26 more points to get there.
And looking at FaZe in 4th place, let's talk about them, Enigma.
Yeah, honestly, I think that a lot of conversation has got to go not just to Swag, the man on your screen right now, but that guy in the middle, Sage. Got to remember, this is his tournament to defend. He won the World Series last year with Shifty, with Biffle. Obviously, you know, very controversial dropping going on there. There was a little bit of bad blood from Sage. We saw that at the Esports World Cup, right? We were talking to him in the back, and he was hoping that they would have a bit of a downfall in that tournament. Didn't end up happening, but maybe he's going to be a part of it here today.
Hey, and he's even watching Polscheck, by the way. He's staying informed with all the standings and making sure what's going on. Shout out to Polscheck. They're actually up top in the venue.
Need to put down the bang banger. I need to breach 150 in this game. You know they got the eliminations. It's just being on that better side of the zone. We're talking about the risk. You go where the people are, you find the eliminations, but it's the timing to get ahead of them that you need to make sure you're getting those multipliers. We saw Soka solo making sure he could do the most that he can. Will the Falcons fall here on land? We know they're in first, but can they get to 150? Get that win condition here. Let's get into it. Another map in Vegas.
The stakes couldn't be higher. 26 points for Team Falcons to breach our 150-point threshold. 32 points for Team Community and 50 points for Team Aiden. All well within reach with FaZe 60 points away as well. Sure, once you breach it, you're not done yet. You have to get a win, but you have to play a totally different game after you breach that threshold. We're excited to jump in with the Falcons and see if anybody decides to contest them already. The answer is certainly and definitely no. However, this is the same story we've been telling for the last, I guess, 11 maps that we've played between 2 days. So something is not going well for them in rotation. And with this new zone, it is very centrally located. We could see ourselves all the way back to Lowtown again.
Well, back to Restava Shops for the home of Omit NA we go. I love that spot for loot. A ton of cash registers, a quick loadout you can. But for Team Community, the one rivaling all of the eliminations on the board, 6 points away from the Falcons. We do see Exiles getting wiped off the rip. Quite unfortunate there for the Levin Resort side of things. To the Gulag they go, but a calm start for Community.
Here's what's so interesting about this Community team. We knew they were high risk, high reward. We knew they would be frying out for kills. They had 16 kills last game and they fell in the 20s, all right? Now, Exiles have had a great tourney thus far, really consistent, maybe until now. All 3 in the Gulag, and it looks like Cloud9 on the other side. Getting the better of his opponent. Jackal makes that one look easy. Down goes 4 and Jace. Cloud9 still in the blender, unfortunately.
But it was a must win. Jackal was the only one who won the Gulag.
Oh, wow, yeah, that'll
So
make
good
you
thing
up.
he made it look easy. He's got $1,500 in a dream at this point, and where do we go from here? We're spawning over by the manor. Well, this is a heck of a lot of like, we're talking Levin was all the way on that western side of things, but the FaZe squad that is looking so strong here, 90.8 points on the board. Sage finding final form, and well, when you've got Showstopper, you've got King AJ here, hold a Preacher drone, have a couple.
How about 3? Why not? Able to ward off at least one, but a push and a flank and a swing. Vision goes down. Nice trades here from the side of Adrian and co. FaZe is in final form, in final 5, in top 5, looking to make it top 3 and counting. So much money exchanging hands at the top. $300,000 if you can win it all, and it's still within reach for that FaZe team. And Omit EU has quickly swung up to Bazaar to take a look at who won this time around. It looks like that Panda team actually won. Now getting third party, Omit EU says, well, you're not gonna get paid for it, not this time.
They didn't win anything but a third party and a visit from Omit EU. Only 34 eliminations from the prior maps, not where they wanna be. 10th place for now. Gotta jump up the leaderboard if they can. It starts here. And Kyo though, has to find Resolve, breaches and just gets one more bullet, but the trade is there from the teammates. We save a Gulag. Elsewhere, we did see that wild card Team Colony 2K in the distance. FIFA kill on high ground. Omit NA, youngsters running for the hills.
Yeah, and this is where Omit NA usually drops, very close to it. And it looks like the FIFA kill squad has actually swung down a lot more aggressively this time around. Omit NA said they never chow us, and we always win when they do. We'll see if that continues to be true, as Brax has bailed on his teammate Youngsters all alone right now. Just gonna be looking to isolate some ones. Will he win a 1v3? It is nearly impossible. It is possible, but it's nearly impossible. And Young, I think, is just trying to stay alive and buy Brax some time. He buys him plenty of time, but 2 swinging in, there's just no chance Youngsters can get out of this one.
Wait, did we stick that? I know we're losing our life. You said it. We're giving Brax the time with the cash to get away and hit that full buyback. But Team Community, you've got Unrational. More is in hand. We do see Youngsters in the Gulag. We don't have to hit the buyback just yet. But here we go. Welcome back, Juju. More eliminations for us, and Restava Shops, the home, our beloved, to be able to hit a regain.
And only one in the area now, so they've got plenty of time. I do think Brack's gonna make sure that that's the case. Got eyes in the sky and a recon drone, so plenty of info to tell Juju, hey, all is clear, you can come down and hang out with us. we'll see where they go from here. But we got to take a look at this new zone because it was very centrally located, and new stays very centrally located. Community continues to hunt the edge of zone, but our zone that is showing is actually favoring slightly to the west. We could see one of the first cargo ins we've seen in a very long time. We could head all the way back over to Seaport, kind of cargo, but frankly, I'm looking at that area between Low Town, Old Town, and cargo as the main spots, dead center of the map. Like always, all day yesterday we were at Old Town, Low Town, and I expect us to go back.
Well, here we go. We're still looking for the remnants of the Falcons MENA team here, scumming on one, but the battle of the staircases ensued. The Tempered gonna eat that thermite a bit, a dolphin dive and a bit of a snazzy play there, still unable to get this isolated 1v1. The shots go out, but Resolute gives them the advantage. Still, can we connect the thermite through the window, thread it through?
And this is a 1v1 for the ages, apparently. Edge of zone, Zix is doing everything in his power to win this one, and frankly, may have. Unfortunately, Dongy said, all right, I'm coming, Scum. You couldn't clean up one. Let me help you out. There's the pinch. Well done. Helps his buddy out, and they're going to move on their merry way. Again, reminder, Scummin is our top fragger right now with Dongy. They're actually tied at the top. 2 players from Community, both on 27 kills apiece. There's no wonder that they're at the top of the leaderboard or very close to it.
Well, there's a reason why they are one of the only teams that have been able to beat the Falcons at this format. But Amit NA still trying to get out of this area, still on a regain. But you got to check in with FaZe Black. Things are always looking crazy over in military base, and Navi is one that is always being fought by them. But there goes Levi down and out. We heard from Gabe earlier. He said anything is possible, and this regain that we've seen from them is they're climbing the leaderboards, and they just keep on moving up.
Apparently Championship Sunday is for the FaZe teams. My goodness. If you're wondering where's Navi today, they had a good day yesterday. It's, well, dead because FaZe Black's been fighting them and winning 9 times out of 10, it seems. And another regame from Panda Squad after the bizarre loss to Omit Inkio and them. Omit EU. You go over to military base and think you're going to get anything. You are dead wrong. Go to the Falcons, who are on the hunt, quite literally flying above their opponents, trying to figure out who are we going to take down in transition and where do we go from here. Do we just want to hold Pop-Off for now? It could go north. It is possible that this final zone does go to Pop-Off.
Soko over here piloting the helicopter. I thought we were actually going to drop Shifty and Biffle off on someone, but seems like you got Hallow on the upper ground, just on the outskirts here. But we're working on the positioning, still on the prowl. Mind you, we set it 26 points to get them to 150, and we know what their close rate is on the win condition format. They call Soko the closer for a reason here, but back to Team Aiden, someone who wants to put the rest of the detriment into the dynasty. They need eliminations, but we got to get Aiden back on his feet and inside. Here we go. Z-Smith getting Aiden back into the fray. 50 points is needed for this squad.
Yeah, Team Aiden has a rhythm. They have a rhyme to all the success they found along the way. They head up, they take a look at military. They didn't like it this time, so they head all the way back down to Low Town and rotate into Old Town. This is what they've been doing all day today, and it's been working. This time, because they didn't find the kills in military, they don't have hardly a single kill to their name, and they're trying to find them now. This is one of those scary moments when you don't have early game elimination, as it looks like maybe Aiden got fastball special right to the face by a thermite. Will get picked up here. It's going to give a moment of reprieve for their opponents. This is a scary moment where you have to play for kills in this kind of early mid-game because you're not going to have anything for your multipliers if you just lurk and wait till final 10. So instead, they're having to hunt right now in that Low Town, Old Town area on the transition.
I think more people are just starting to rotate into the Falcons early on. We saw them battling up there in the north with Team FIFA Kill and other squads in the neighboring vicinity. It's going to be Navi, though, but there's a couple people from military base taking angles, and Falcons, well, they're going for Levi. They want to clean out the north and claim it for themselves.
Yeah, a couple quick notes on that. As per the usual, Community in the 20, way down at the bottom of the map on the edge of zone, fighting everybody else in city. They said all of these are free. Scummin quite literally said we love landing city because everybody else is terrible, so we get to kill everybody. And apparently it's true, at least according to them. Down by 5 right now on the Falcons with the scores coming in from this one. They have a nice amount of kills. They've lost Scummin, and they're still fighting around high rise with with a couple other teams in the area, specifically Vitality, who's come back to claim what was theirs apparently. Said, we don't drop here anymore, but we want to kill you because you took our drop spot and you chalked our turn.
Patsuka, the drop down from Unrational, rips that. It's the Resolute, though, that keeps Patsuka alive. Dongi looking for the trade, gets it, puts him to 29 eliminations, looking for 30. Luckily, Unrational still has that gulag in the back pocket, but Dongi now owns high rise to himself. Will have to hit the rotate. And Patsuka, well, we saw what just happened. This is where I get my vengeance.
I want your high ground, I want your drop spot, I want your body. No, Patsuka with the barrel stuff. This is a big one for Scum, and he's got to get back and help his teammate out, and it looks like he was able to do that. So we're gonna see 2 community members still in this one with 8 kills in total as we immediately swap back over to Omit NA, who are back on their feet finding kills. Now he's got a decent spot up here. Unfortunately, a couple well-placed thermites is gonna make this a true 2v2 with Vieira, a massive content creator, being subbed in for this squad. They've played spoiler to some teams, but not doing a lot of work on that leaderboard itself.
Well, I love that Brax, after taking damage, is trying to get back with Youngstas. If they combine forces, they have enough cash to get him back into the game, bring Juju back. Now, quite frankly, this Omit NA roster has achieved so much over the past couple of months, and I'm excited to see them keep on growing. But let's keep a move on. We got EXO Esports just ahead. You see Team Colony 2K, that recent map win from Clabson, FLS GUI, the North, and Team Aiden just on the lower side of Old Town here. We keep on moving, and you have to place the bet. Do you play from the cargo side? Do you play from the Old Town? With the majority of the playable space on Old Town, I like this play.
And again, that North squad, that Clabson team, they jumped, like we said, up into the top 10, all the way up to, I believe, 7th place on our leaderboard, very close to it. So they are in pole position to take a ton of cash and potentially play for the win if they can get another one. Back to the Falcons we go, to the true north of the map, up to the south side of Pop-Up. Only team in the area is this squad right now. It's that Eric squad that is in the LTV or driving around. Everybody else is to the south of them. You're going to see a couple teams in cargo, especially that Super Evans squad, who again, not making waves on the leaderboard, but still playing spoiler to some really good teams, including this one. They drop in cargo. They are hanging out in cargo. This is Super Evans' game to win, and they need it bad.
Well, we're still climbing. We needed 26. Now we need 20. It can be done here. We can breach 150 if we keep firing like we are. Currently Wars, Louis CT, CM, Bubble CT, Bubble down, fighting that APAC team. Even Omit NA still getting into the mix early on, but it's the Falcons who are looking to claim the space. No one is around them. You have to think Omit NA just on the western side, playing around that zip. We'll have to rotate on in, but with all of the information that Falcons have, I know they're gonna start popping UAVs. They're going to go on the hunt to allow themselves to breach 150 this map. The question is, who will cut them down?
Yeah, Vieira is going to fall here, so the Falcons get a couple more added to their tally. 17 away and maybe make that 16, but the multipliers will continue to tick that number up regardless of kills. With the cargo zone pull, by the way, I guess everything worth having is worth working for, because the COD Munich team has to work so hard on these rotations through a crazy amount of teams to even get to zone. COD Munich is still outside of zone and fighting several teams on the transition. Specifically, Team 22, we've seen this team play spoilers several times and even grab a win. That's DRN, Destroy Squad, flying in off of a zip. Probably the next team this COD Community Squad's gonna have to fight, because they are in the way of this squad getting to zone.
Yikes, Echo going up against the former teammates. Bubble getting the trade elsewhere. That's pretty brutal. Good look at DRN here, just from above. Now listen what we're doing here. COD Community getting the intel contracts. They want to know where the next circle is going to pull so they can make way to the north. From Seatown we go. You mentioned the water. That cross is going to be difficult, but we need to clear out this specific area. And that isolated fight with DRN, that could be feisty.
Yeah, and again, they only need 32 points. They're on 9 kills already, COD Community to be exact. They've got a really good chance of potentially breaching our threshold. They need to at least get top 5. Now, FaZe Squad, they're still 60 points away, but in top 5 on the leaderboard, and they want to try to better their standings and get as close as they can. If the Falcons get past 150, they need to be close. Sage pushing the equation. A great Slayer today, continuing to find players out of position. Lana trying to make a play. It's not enough. FaZe is on top right now. They're nearly unstoppable, winning yet again another good team fight without losing a player.
Sage, 21 eliminations on the day thus far. A previous LAN champ and wants to do it again, sitting in 4th place, about to encompass that triple digits. But Omit EU have decided to lay claim to the north. They said, oh, you want a challenger? I see you, Falcons. I know this is your terrain, but Community on the other side. Here's that look, the lay of the land. Soka isolated to the south, looking to kind of collapse around the gas station that Gromalok and Heeds are. We know Enkyo's a fragger, but he has to find Shifty. Biffle on 6, though.
This is maybe make or break for Omit EU. They have got to win that fight, and we'll continue to check in with him. That fight will probably take a while because Community, again hunting edge of zone, says, hey, let's take a look at maybe some other squads in our area. Let's continue to rack up the kills. We only need 32 points, folks. This is easy right now. We're already on 12, by the way. I said it was 9. They scored 3 when we checked in with those other teams.
Here
now the fight on the other side. I love. Let's keep hot swapping back and forth. These are crucial moments right now, and Omit EU now in a fly trap with a Soak on one side, Shifty and Biffle on the other. They push the equation. Grom in trouble, but no shots hit. Several thermites zoning Shifty off. He's got to address this fight from another angle. Come swinging in the gas station. Said, hello, for your cat. He says no. Yet again, he's playing spoiler. Biffle getting into the mix. Shifty getting in the mix, and they take him out. Omit EU cut down, only losing 1. The Falcons on top. The Falcons that much closer to making it to 150 points. And in the meantime, Community in deep trouble.
Where is Enkyo? I know FaZe Black. It was flanked, I believe, that knocked him earlier before that fight actually occurred. Dongy down below the catacombs there, beneath the sea here. Swag, Adrian. Oh, 7, last alive. Just seems to be the nature of the game for them. 26 teams still up. Yes, they can frag, but it's getting into the end games. It's getting the multipliers and letting those points culminate. 125.2. We are within striking distance. Let's say you win this game. There is a good chance that you breach 150 for Team Community.
Okay, reminder, by the way, the Falcons needed, what, 25.8 points or something similar to it.
Okay.
They have 13 kills right now. If they get a win without a single another elimination, they've done it. They're likely going to do it if they pick up more kills in the rotation. It looks like Soka was able to get some. We still got to keep our eyes on Dongy because, like you said, Community is still in the equation, albeit entirely on the back of the young Dongy.
And I'm really nervous here. You're just tanking gas at this point. You have FaZe above you. And that rotate, the trigger discipline, we have to time this to perfection because now we are just reaping. But back to the Falcons we go. Someone else has tried to lay claim. It's going to be Team Echo. Oki, Prodigy to the left, Echo to the right. They said they wanted to come out swinging today. They're outside the top 5. Soka about to be here in a 2v2. Oki, the thermite, it connects. He's down, he's out, and Prodigy is just trying to reassess.
This is now 15 kills, by the way. Folks at home that want to do the math. 1.8 times multipliers, what we're looking for if we can make it to top 5. We still have 22 teams remaining. We have so far to go in this, but they've done enough from the kills category. They need the multipliers now, and they cannot get caught in a third party. Omit NA wants a piece of this. Prodigy says, give it to me instead. Picks up Shifty, but can't clean him up, and down goes Echo, which means Prodigy's team completely in a blender and just a solo trying to play spoiler.
Okay, Omit NA, 3 up in the north. Let's see what they can do. Taking the angles, and Biffle is just like, I've got to play a heady here. We've got more smokes. We'll check in with them later, but that is going to decide the entirety of the game. Mortar's going back and forth, and now FaZe, just a duo. You look, you've got Team Aiden, you've got the Exiles. Everyone is on the south side in cargo.
This is the best case scenario for the Falcons. They have enough kills right now as FaZe is in trouble. All they need is some multis. Look at their score in the top right-hand corner. They need 10 points. They get that by just staying alive. So we go to FaZe and Team Aiden, both vying for position, jockeying on this leaderboard. This time, Aiden gonna come out on top. FaZe fully eliminated in, I think, 18th place. Not a ton of multis. FaZe might drop out of the top 5. Going into potentially what could be the last game, pending the way this one ends.
Community down and out. Team Aiden looking for elims, 106 points. Drops the PDS, looks for the regain. Z-Smith likely about to get picked up here. We have a PDS in the back pocket. Everyone rotating in will take each other out, but it is the Falcons who own the north.
it's best case scenario. The Falcons can just lie in wait, let everybody kill each other, and take a 1.8 times multiplier. They have zone, they have high ground, they have everything they need, and all the teams that are contesting them are wiping each other on the south side of the map. We're about to get into the top 10. We see DRN just barely fall out of top 10, go 11th. The Falcons are just mere milliseconds away from breaching 150 points. This will not end the tourney, but it does put us into win condition for the Falcons to win any map from here on out and win the whole tourney if they can survive just a little bit longer.
But who will challenge them? Look at the leaderboard, 147.8. If they get top 5, if they get that 1.8, it's likely that they breach 150.
Well, all eyes turned towards Aiden. They needed a 50-point game. I don't think they're going to get it. They're deep in the gas with the Thermite on their heads. They've got a PDS. Sure, all 3 up. Potentially could sneak into top 5 here if they've maybe got a couple more PDSs. It's a good play, but it does look like CT Red's getting mixy in the middle of this one. Dave Samir, Dark, Castillo, all 3 up and taking a nice position right underneath FLS. They've cleared out this building right on the edge of zone and have found a nice amount of kills in rotation. You can only expect CT Red to have a great game here and jump this leaderboard quite dramatically as FaZe Black is still in the mix. We said FaZe was out. Not both phases. We got flanked on 6 again. This man is turning up on land on day 2, but deep in the gas, we are not out of the weeds yet.
This is tough. Look at that pull. The Falcons will have priority to it, and everyone on the opposing side. What do you do to breach the gap? They're already playing angles, and flanked, you're on the opposing side. We have to filter towards the north, but we want the eliminations from Dark, from Castillo. Wow. This will help, especially when we're about to be in the top 5 multi.
Yeah, quite literally playing the definition of a spoiler right now. Just shooting backs from the gas, and I think they've maybe missed one. They didn't see FLS on top. Oh, no, there he is. See what Flink can do. Strixie's trying to make a heroic play, but the Falcons have done it, folks. You see the leaderboard. They're past our threshold. This tournament is not over, but we are one step closer, and the question is, will they close it out in a victory on the other side? Super Evan has no chance. The Falcons finally fly to their very first victory of day 2, and they breach our threshold. They are back, and they are ready to play.
It only took them 6 games to find the form that we are used to seeing and have been the entire year here in competitive Warzone for Urzikstan. The family, the hype crew, front and center for the boys, and well, we saw how many eliminations they had. That 2x multi goes the distance. They breached 150, and now all they have to do is win 1 more.
That was nearly a 40-point game, it seemed. They did well enough to make sure they breached that 150-point threshold. All they have to do is win, like you said, Tiff. And if history repeats itself, at this point it might be a coin flip. Do they win next game or the following? We are running out of runway for the rest of these teams to make a play for the win. Are we done? No, but we are very, very close, folks. And Community didn't do enough. Team Aiden didn't do enough. They are still playing for points while the Falcons are playing for the win.
And if those 2 squads in the next map don't breach 150, you cannot give the Falcons any more games. Now, mind you, I've seen them close it out in 2, I've seen them close it out in 1, but max 3, maybe just a couple more. This could be very well near the end of the tournament.
It's close, but job's not done, and I'm still so impressed with FaZe Black making it into the top 5. They've likely secured a spot to top 5 to the end of the tourney. They're very consistent today in day 2. I would love to get a chance maybe after this tourney to talk to Flanked & Co. to see what's so different. A fantastic performance to make a crazy amount of money potentially, but job is not done. I'd love to take a look back at that last stand, see how it all panned out. As expected, we knew from like zone 5 that the Falcons were going to win it. They had zone position. They had high ground, and the question is what happened to the rest of the teams on the south side. And so let's take a look, and Tiff, break it down for me, because look at this high ground position. They had the zone pull, but it was this fight down on the south side in cargo. Everybody else was just wiping each other.
I mean, when you hold the majority of the circle and everyone's hailing from the south, this is all post that omit EU fight against the Falcons for the north, with everyone kind of whittling each other down. You just look at this shot. This shot says everything. Soka and Biffle, the firing squad, Shifty even trying to get crazy. Throughout this, all they're doing is using those ARs to put a couple bullets into some of these players and find multiple eliminations. They get a bit of Dark. They go and grab some more. And then Strixie's like, all right, look, I'm going to try to make a play for it. They look for the rotate early, but we are just feeding the Falcons eliminations at this point. So we say, can the Wolf do it?
Yeah, Wolf not going to win that one. I will say, again, I always tip my hat to somebody in the last stand, and I will tip my hat to Super Evan. Like we expected, Cargo was theirs. They get second place, likely going to jump up the leaderboard. But we're going to head down to the stage and hear what Shifty has to say.
Thank you very much, team. Yeah, Shifty. Man, I missed you. Where have you been? What's been going on in this tournament?
Man, we've been asleep, man, but we're awoken now. We're awoken.
It's a scary thought, man. I mean, you're over 150 points now. The way the rules go, if you win the next match, or if you win any of the next matches from here on out, you're champions. It sounds easy, but what does it really mean?
I mean, we just got to close. You know, we made a roster decision to get a closer, so now it's all, you know, Soak's going to do what he does best. We're going to fucking listen to him, and we're going to close it out. You know, we've had a kind of a struggle today, but at the same time, we've been struggling, and we haven't dropped out at first, so we're just going to finish it out.
Time to finish it out. One more map is all you need. I wish you the best of luck, sir. Get back up there. Get ready to do it. Could be one more, team. Let's find out on the other side.
All right, there it is. Shifty.
There's there, Brawlic as well, and man, things are really starting to heat up here. I hope it's the third time is the charm kind of vibe. We're getting a look there of Urzikstan, which means the time is now. And I would say, I don't know how many more times I can hype y'all up Orleans Arena. This has got to be it.
All right, folks, everybody take a big collective deep breath. The beginning of the end. It could be short or it could be long. We're going to drop into this final map potentially for the Falcons.
Give me that circle, and we are slicing and dicing Urzikstan. From farms to seaport we go, and maybe we get a potential for it to pull to the north, just on the outskirts of military base, or maybe we go down to the south, we revisit the ranch. A lot of battles here, especially when you think of the Bazaar. A lot of hot starts over there, but it doesn't matter because all eyes on Popov and no one willing to risk it and feed them even more eliminations. Juki's, though, is he off his leash? He's going rogue. I saw him land in just on the other side of Shifty there.
We got nobody?
Not a single soul.
What? One vehicle? Who is it? It's Zach. Hey, Zach. By himself in a vehicle? Nobody dropped Popov? Are you kidding me? I know you want money. I get it. We'll see what happens. They're going to walk out with about 50K, and they've got a good opportunity to win, but it's definitely not all she wrote. Now, Tip, you talked about that circle. It's a big moment to talk about because it could go back to farms. What have we seen in farms? 2 in circles there yesterday. One of those, Falcons got second. The other, they won with a massive margin. That was the biggest game I believe they dropped yesterday with that win. I think it was pushing 60 points. So still a lot of history in farms for them as we head to the Gulag as COD Immunity apparently in trouble.
Well, mind you, they only need like 16 points to breach 150 scum in here against Huskers. Exiles trying to hold it together and breach top of the leaderboard, earn the most they can. The zip comes out, and Huskers takes it and baits it, and Scumman's just shooting, and Husker takes it to him.
Back to back with the fake. The broken legs, the broken neck. See you later, Scumman.
The broken ego, if I gotta say.
Okay, my guy Husk is styling on him here in the Gulag. I love that start. Unfortunately, not a great start for the team, albeit a great moment for Huskers. We're going to see where they go to regain. Now, Popov, not very active right now. We do see Team FIFA kill. They've moved all the way up to the north side of Popov. This is not unfamiliar territory for them. They've done this now several times. North side of Popov, and then they usually rotate towards Levin. But with this zone favoring the eastern side, they could come through and try to take and contest against the Falcons.
Well, we've got Squad's Insight Gaming on your screen. DRN for now. Destroy looking for angles. See if we can catch Stukax out. Maybe some early eliminations as Nate Dogg is isolated over here by himself. Can we get this 1v1 against them? Well, maybe. We reunite with the homies over in Lowtown.
Just a quick look at FaZe, by the way. Again, top 5. You can see our top 5 in the top right-hand corner of the screen. Obviously, a massive margin between first and second, but the Falcons just need a win. CT Red. A lot of cheers from the crowd for them. Unfortunately, FaZe is going to swing in and likely clean this one up. Dark says, I'm out of here. Jason Samir back on his feet only for a millisecond. as Sage is pushing the equation. Great fragger today for this team, but it's been a team effort as they clean up. Likely Castillo hucked him through the water, pistol in hand.
Not like
Castillo
that.
is out, and CT Red headed to the gulag. FaZe is moving on all cylinders as we swing back to Aiden, who just hit a zip from Super. They got their loadout so fast, and they're trying to contest this low town area.
But 38 points are needed from this map for them, and Community, well, 18. Dongy in the gulag, Scumming back into the mix, especially after we saw that play from Huskers. But Unrational here, you've got Noobs on the other side, and Scumming backs down and out. One more elimination. It's Vitality. Can we find Steve-O? And we've already breaking the plates there.
To the gulag we go with Dongy. Let's see if he can get the better of his opponent this time, and I believe that stick. Not quite a fastball special. There's no thermite, but a stick straight to the chest and ran away from his opponent. Nice take, a nice win. 1-1 in the gulag for Community, and frankly, unfortunately for Vitality, they are 0 for 10 or so that they've tried to contest this Community team, whether off drop or right after drop.
Kind of interesting here as see that next circle starts to pull. Do we go to the north? Do we hang towards the farms? Do we center on up? A lot of our squads omit EU over on Manor, but this is a very similar pool to the ending that we saw when we went to the coast on the outskirts of military base. And that just goes to show you, honestly, look at the Falcons and how spread out they are. We have one roaming industrial, two down and pop-off. All you have to do is isolate them out, but no one ever goes towards that side of the map. Omit NA. They start in Rostava, and they've been working their way on the western side of things. Nano in their sights. We only connect for a couple bullets here, and you see the one player up in the air giving all the comms for Nano.
Golly, that map view is crazy. The fact that we've got a zone pulling towards pop-off and military as Omit NA clean up a couple kills is wild. They're just gonna lie in wait and wait for anybody to try to chow them. Frankly, if I am the Falcons, I'm getting as many resources as humanly possible. I need every ounce of information I can find. I need recon drones, I need UAVs, and I need those durable gas masks if we can get them. Of course, you want to use some recon contracts to find the new zones. You need to know if it's going to be your side of the river or if we do pull to military. Military pull is massive for this team. Again, you only need, it looks like 31 total kills, or total points rather, in order to make it to our threshold. FaZe Black right there in the mix. Community a little bit in a blender, but way less needed from them.
You see the streaks being called in. You got a portable radar in the back pocket. The Revenge Tour team already focusing on Navi, sending them for the hills, but we take the high ground here for flanked. Give the comms to the players as they push up onto J-Tech. You can see Blast just over there on the left within the smokes. J-Tech there, falls, and just looking for the full, gets it. Now we just have to locate B-Mark.
This is a nice team wipe again. When you need 31 points, you do need a sizable amount of kills. And then that multiplier is incredibly important as well. B-Mark gets beamed. And FaZe Black are off to the races to figure out where they need to go from here. New zone's about to pop. The team Aiden is back into Superstore after a northern pull. They said, let's head down to Lowtown and hedge our bets. And we go, no, let's head back to our drop spot. And look who's here for a regain after likely losing Bazaar. It's Panda trying to find a place on the map that they can call their home in the latter half of this tournament.
Well, FaZe on your screen, and you've also got the Epions, and well, let's see if we can take them down. Freddy on the roof, you can see the Bunker Buster will connect for some damage and be a little detrimental towards them, but Sage just needs to find that opening. It's gonna be Swag, though, that brings it straight to him.
FaZe can definitely drop a big enough game to get to our threshold. You need 39 points as of right now. That is well within reason for a team this talented. They haven't, I don't think, dropped a game that big, but they've been close a couple times. They need a 2x multiplier or more, and of course they gotta make sure that the Falcons don't win. Couple other key notes though, up into pop-off, Cloud9 has taken a northern rotation for the first time since the start of this tournament. Cloud9 went from Seaport all the way up and are contesting in pop-off with the Falcons. We'll tune into that in a little bit because it does look like Biffle's taking down 4 and Jace, which means the Falcons likely are going to get a clean wipe here shortly.
There's a couple other teams still up in the north as well with Cloud9 Revenge Tour. They like to position themselves towards that end game early and then let the fighting do the work for teams that still are on the brink of 150. The squad on your screen, 15 points away, and then you check in with the Falcons, and man, it's kind of scary when you start seeing the north clear out for them.
Oh, Joe on the rotation fighting B-Mark means Biffle can get an easy third party. He's going to steal that kill away from B-Mark and says, hey, thanks for cleaning that up for me, my man. Now I'm on 2. How about I kill you as well? That's 3 if he can get the clean wipe. Take a look at this new zone. It's not a true pop-off circle, and frankly, probably won't end there at all. We might be seeing that Superstore South military circle that's actually going to favor where the Exiles are and FaZe Black.
It's one of those circles I was calling out while we were chatting before the game. I was like, hey, can we get one of them? That would be great to see. For Community, though, who land Zaravan City, have one of the longest rotations, and the timing will be of the essence. But first, we've got to deal with noobs. We've got to deal with Vitality. Yet again, we do it with ease. Dongi on 5 eliminations, 9 minutes in to the drop number 7.
Dongi is not looking to relinquish that top fragger title that he has currently earned. And again, this squad has worked so hard through every single map to make some of the hardest rotations through city and across the river. And finding Patzuka, Vitality has just been in a blender this whole tournament, unfortunately. And Rational is going to say, hey, Dongi, that's for you, my man. We're going to set you up for success and continue to make sure that you are the top fragger. I think that's now 6 for Dongi. Make it 7 for Dongi in this game. If you had any question that COD Community would be past our threshold after this one, I'm sure those questions are dropping out of your head quick.
Still got to get to the north we go, into Lowtown or through it. Omit EU elsewhere. Aiden's team fighting multiple squads, getting into the mix, but now we set our sights onto the dark. He peeks, Unrational connects, we rip the plates off him. Can we take it from Castillo? This damage that Unrational has been able to do with the Moors is allowing Dongi and Scummin to just circle around them and deal the rest of the damage and get those eliminations.
Unrational's played the perfect support player. You're not going to see him on the top fragging list, but he is setting up his teammates for success over and over again. It would be fun to look at his damage as well to set up his teammates. But Dongi's going to make the push, look for the isolation of the 1v1. Castillo out, not a full isolation though. We lose Dongi in the process. Again, a hair too aggressive. This team could have played slower and they could have saved Dongi's life. Instead, they're going to spend some cash. Back up to Popov, the only team in Popov, at least on this side of Popov, on the south-hand side. It's this Revenge Tour squad. We got B-Mark, J-Tech, and Slide. They're here to play, and they've been up here all day. And frankly, I'm not sure they're getting paid for it. They've been hanging out near the edge of Kotovo and Popov, and have had a little bit of a slow day today.
Yeah, they had that buy station there that they had just passed by, and it was during that fire sale course of time. We see just how much funds the Falcons have in the back of their pocket. We all have durables, we have self-reses, we've got the UAVs. We are poised to take this towards the end, and knowing that all of them usually have a portable buy, but it's FaZe, and they keep on moving. You can see Superstore just upon the horizon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's definitely Aiden shooting out over the top of them. With Superstore still in zone, they said, we dropped here, and we're gonna defend it as well. Aiden, they need a pretty big game, but everybody's coming to them. Just a question of how many kills can they pick up in that rotation. FaZe having a good one right now, a sizable amount of eliminations for this squad. Currently 4, obviously, for Sage, looking to figure out where do we go from here. Redeploy drones and everything in between. They've got every piece of resources they need to find success on this map, and they have cleaned out Lowtown. And now just got to figure out, do we want to run at Superstore? Do we want to run at Aiden? Or do we need to maybe make a different rotation? I think they're going to wait on this zone. So let's take a look at that zone if we can. It's going to be closing here in about 10 seconds and see where it goes. Does it go to military? Is it the one we've been waiting for? I think it might be, Tiff.
If it does, I love where Team Aiden has positioned themselves in Superstore with that buy station. And man, this is going to get wild really quick. I look towards Team Zach, who have actually fallen dead center for the most part on that island. FaZe now have to rotate just a little north, just to where we saw Superstore, right? Team Aiden in. But think of how open this positioning is. And I love that you see Omit EU in the dead center with the train. So they'll have a buy station, resupply on that ammo cache. But how are the Falcons going to approach this one? You've got Omit NA just towards your east.
Yep. Omit NA is trying to play gatekeepers. And, well, the Falcons say, let's stay true to our namesake. Let's take to the skies. And whether or not that's a good decision, we'll decide here shortly, because they are on edge of zone. Young trying to shoot beams, trying to shoot down the heli. And so Shifty has to run a marathon to get to zone. No kills to his name, but it doesn't matter. They don't need him. Just a win is needed from this squad. Omit NA trying to play gatekeepers. This is a fight that's going to happen. Without a vehicle, it has to happen if you're Omit NA. They're having a good day today, but they need a great day. And to do that, you need more games.
No, I don't even want them to be gatekeepers. I want them to pull a full-on Gandalf and say, you shall not pass. But Biffle still putting the hurt down onto Omit NA. The smokes come out, try to cut those lines of sight, but all it's going to take, one live ping, maybe an advanced UAV. They've got the funds. They've already thrown down the portable buy, and Biffle is looking to get Nixie. Thought about jumping up on the truck, doesn't do it, but Omit NA dropped to the low ground, and from the north, you can see another squad, EP Downs, want to get in on the action.
Yeah, Revenge Tour also playing cross. We're going to do a quick listen in with the Falcons to see where they go from here, because there's a lot of teams looking at them.
For a teammate to scam, look at this guy. Our tower's got a car, they're just laying down, look, they're laying down. They're getting shot in the back.
El equipo de Donkey que va a tener que moverse del búnker. No sé si van a querer jugar dentro del búnker que está dentro y luego moverse a partir de ahí. Veremos qué intenta hacer el equipo de Donkey. El equipo de Enkeo rotando con el tren. Pues cuidado porque el equipo de Enkeo se puede juntar. Por ahí está Pop-Up, gente. Por ahí se pueden jugar. Se van a juntar con el equipo de Huskers. Aunque el equipo de Huskers, mira, está en el tren Enkeo. El equipo de Huskers que ha retrocedido un poquito. Del equipo de Biffle que se lo está tomando con calma porque saben que una rotación mala acaban muriendo. Gente, en 30 segundos se cierra el gulag. En 30 segundos se cierra el gulag. El equipo de Amir que ha podido remontar la partida. De Amir que ha revivido a Zetadark y Castillo. Gente, en 10 segundos no se van a poder permitir errores por parte del equipo de Biffle porque se cierra el gulag. Y el equipo de Biffle creo que se queda bastante rodeado, ¿eh?
Le falta ganar el equipo de Biffle ya para ganar el torneo.
Gulag cerrado. Si el equipo de Biffle muere, tenemos otra partida más. Y veremos.
Teammates closer. Behind this car, behind the portable, behind the portable. Oh, bump that portable. Get over our bags there. Get over our bags there. Bump that portable. Just make sure he's not in there.
The top side, listen. It's at end game 1. You know what I'm talking about? Top side. You want to be on top side.
There you go. Right here. Yep. 3.
Well, the IGL Hisoka has spoken. He says topside, we go topside, and we'll see if he's right. I'm sure he probably is. Now, a couple teams in the area to play spoiler. Of course, you see FaZe Black there lurking in the shadows on that high ground position. They are outside the zone. The spot he's talking about is just to the south of that, and you actually see on our map that Omit EU is on the train tracks just to the east side of that kind of northern end zone that he's talking about. So we'll see if it ends up going there. Omit NA has completely abdicated from this fight, and they've actually gone onto the island, dead center of all that water, and are reaping teams as well. So they're moving up this leaderboard pretty dramatically as FaZe Black is trying to creep down into zone, and they might be held here by the Falcons.
Oh, flanked down and out. The angles that you can take from this bridge. So if you think about the biggest threats to it, it is FaZe Black, right? They dive down to the low ground here, but also Exiles and military base side of thing, XTH. You've got a couple more over there, even Team Super Evan, but they've got to clear it out. And now Community on double-digit eliminations have set their sights onto Omit NA. Let it burn. We need 7 more points.
This island is ours. My goodness, Omit NA obliterated off the island, and Young's swimming for his life right now, looking for any semblance of a multiplier. We have 16 teams remaining, and Community likely has done enough at this point. I'm not going to call it that they're past 150 points, but I'm sure they will be, especially if they can secure top 10, which is likely looking like it will be the case. You see Super Evan's team in the Salmon 9 off the right-hand side. Omit EU on the train right now, on the train's tracks. This is win condition that the Falcons were talking about. They got here early. Anybody else that's been playing a lot of scrims, they know this spot well. Shifty a little bit isolated, knowing that the Italians are down below. He is actually out in the gas, getting held by a couple teams from distance. He's going to smoke and run and try to help out his teammates by wiping these Italians. Unfortunately, there's a long angle on it.
There really is, but their ability to put themselves into a god spot with the least amount of resistance is uncanny. Team Super Evan there on the train, out in gas. Biffle with their eyes set straight onto him, but it backs sawing up. You can see Team Aiden from the south. Out of Superstore we go. They seem closer to the circle alongside FaZe from the south. The big fight here is going to be Aiden. It's going to be Exiles as they reek up on that eastern side of things.
All eyes on the Falcons, but in the top right-hand corner, you see that FaZe is having a banger game right now. There is a chance if FaZe wins this, they can also breach 150 points. Yes, this might be the final map. These might be the final moments of the final map. We could see several teams past our 150-point threshold at the end of this one. Top 10 means community likely done enough. Super Evan falls in 11th. Unfortunately, no multipliers for you, but Ahsoka on high ground. It's youngsters playing spoiler as a solo from distance. Luckily, just a hair enough cover to stay alive as Omit EU trying to regain, and Ahsoka has a flank.
And the angles, right? Omit EU, formidable foes, but they're already preoccupied with Team Aiden on the other side. Z-Smith down and out, and Omit NA wiped. Shifty, this is where he's gonna get crazy. He's gonna extend out, look for these eliminations. Third party at Omit EU. The formidable foes, they're down, they're out. More eliminations across the board, but community 0.8 points away. They're still up in it. Can they get to 150? Can they stop the Falcons?
Unbelievable. DJ Moss was able to pick up a lot of eliminations and stay alive, but the Falcons have all three up and everybody else is killing each other. The Falcons are in the best position to win it all. They not only have high ground, sure they have moved in the zone, but FaZe is going viral in the water. It's Clapper trying to play spoiler. Lin FIFA, sure, you're still up. FaZe doing everything they can to try to breach the threshold. Community is past it. They are on threshold, but it may not matter. The Falcons are the only team, I believe, with all three alive besides Team Clapper, who I believe are nearly dead last. The Falcons are probably going to win it. Can anybody answer the call to stop this dynasty?
They were a wild card for a reason, was that Team Clapper, but what can they do when you have the playable space, when you have the angles? They're unleashing their inner kaijus and reaping it straight across. To Lennon we go. FIFA sitting ducks in the water.
Chance. There's no chance. The Falcons have the best position. All three up. Plenty of resources. Look how many plates they have. Everything is going their way. The only thing that could make this difficult is if this next zone pulls towards Rocket. If they get the pull, maybe. The problem is it's in the water. It's got to pull all the way to Freddy for this to even be a problem for the Falcons. They've got the best spot. It does. It goes to the Falcons. They have the best spot. They are going to win this game. It's just a matter of time. There has to be an absolutely Herculean effort from somebody else in this lobby to stop this tournament from being over.
And they are just putting the pressure onto everyone. Left out into the gas we go. Biffle wants to claim the top of that elimination leaderboard, wants to cement the dynasty. We talked about it. Is it the last dance? I don't know, but they could cement themselves in history here.
The Falcons, the flip of the coin, lands on a nice edge. Freddy, Zanks, you have no chance, my friends. All three up, and they're going to style on them. The Falcons needed one. The Falcons are your champions. They are inevitable. The dynasty has been etched in stone forever. The Falcons are the best Warzone team of all time. There is no question. There is no debate. No one can shake their finger at him and say, not today. Think about the history. Think about the other teams. The Falcons are the best team to ever grace this game.
You heard it from the Falcons themselves. The interview stating that there is not a single player in the world that they would ever replace one another with. If this is true, if this is Biffle's last dance, you might as well write the perfect final chapter here in Urzikstan.
Vegas goes wild for the champions. Was it what we expected? Sure. Did it happen the way we expected? Certainly not. But when you awoke the Falcons soared, and they won this whole event. Falcons are gonna head down to the stage where all the fans are crowding around, because sure, they've won $300,000, but they've also won a trophy that they've gotta lift him.
Soka won in Caldera. He reigns supreme here in Urzikstan. Biffle with a back-to-back alongside Shifty as the boys approach one of their prizes, the trophy here, lifted by some of the greatest of all times.
There is no more question. There's no mark on anybody's name. Everybody believes these are the best 3 players in the world. The Falcons are your World Series of Warzone 2024 champions.
Gotta get a moment. You called it. You said you woke up. You woke up. A man of your word. We've never seen a team like it. Shifty, how do you describe this moment?
It's incredible, man. I mean, for the past months, I've been seeing the number 7, and we won it in fucking game 7. I mean, I believe in manifestation in this team. I mean, the greatest of all fucking time, the greatest IGL of all time, and hey, the greatest fragger. I think I can say that. You know, fucking 3 for 3. Soka came into this team with a different fucking mindset. We knew we were gonna win. We knew. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't care if we had a bad start or whatever. I knew once we got there that we were gonna ace. And it being on game 7 was just testament to what I believe in and what the team believes in. We're just the greatest fucking team. But one thing I do have to say, man. One thing I need to say. Listen, please. I need one individual, man. Rob, you need to admit that us 3, we are the greatest trio to ever play this game. And I need you also to understand and admit that Diaz Biffle is the best player in the fucking world. It is not anyone that he has said it was. He is the greatest of all time. Because of D, we're able to work as hard as we fucking do. This kid is a fucking GOAT.
Well said, brother. That's for you as well. All right, well, a great team is nothing without a great leader. Soka, you're up next, mate. Firstly, plates. Always need the plates, baby.
Double fisted, baby. What club we going tonight, chat? Come on, what's up? I'm at the Win nightclub. What's up? What's up?
How do you describe this moment? A great tournament from the whole squad, but you've been credited with some of the massive changes, the big wins, the decisions made in game. How do you feel about that?
Feels great, man. You know, last year I came short, came second. No one knows this, but I cried in my room by myself like a little baby. So they introduced me to the team. They had faith in me, and they trusted me. And once there's trust on the team, there's chemistry. We're undeniable. The generational one, baby. You can't deny us now.
Undeniable is the only way to describe it. Congratulations once again, fellas. I think I've got one more play. We've got one more play to give. Biffa, we'll keep this one. First and foremost, that's for you, sir. Congratulations. Everyone wants to know, the music's finally stopped. Is this the last dance?
I know the competitors, they want us, or they want me to leave because we're too fucking dominant. But I think I'll stay in their fucking nightmares one more year. I'll give it another year. Fuck it.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, the Falcons, your World Series of Warzone Global Final Champions.
Se acabó, un año más. El día del Biffle se va a aventar un torneo más. Y se retira. Está cansado el hombre, dice. Se acabó.